going. WZR Army. Let's roll the sleeves up. Let's do a little radio show, television show. WZR TV. Tuesday nights. I'm Ryan Clark. He's Matt Boone. And we're going to be here for the next 2 hours. Maybe a little bit longer. Talking pro wrestling. We got a lot to talk about. What a crazy couple of days. WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw from last night. Jim Ross said it best in a tweet today. WWE hit the reset button last night on Raw following WrestleMania.
As they always do.
A lot of NXT talents coming to the main roster. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to run down WrestleMania. Geez, man, all the talk coming out of WrestleMania is the streak is over.
That's one of the big stories coming out of the weekend. I think
chat room.
I think that we should start with the biggest story that come out of the weekend, which obviously is Christy Hemme joined the TNA creative team. That's what TNA put out there.
Oh man. It yesterday, listen, I've been doing this for 15 years now.
You see the picture he put of her on Twitter for the announcement, John Gaboric. You saw the picture of her?
Right.
I bet she's blowing him, and that's why she gets a job in the office. It's gotta be a situation
you know what though?
Like that.
You know what? Listen, I haven't put this up on the website yet. Christy Hemme, this is not new news. It broke yesterday that Christy had been added to the TNA creative team.
Yeah.
Christy, for at least a month or two now, has been the main person in charge of the Knockouts division. She's the one that's been booking the Knockouts division, and it didn't come out until John Gaboric yesterday confirmed it on Twitter. So this isn't, it's not new news. It broke yesterday like it was new news, but he officially announced it. But she's been in that position for a couple of months, probably as, a tryout, something like that.
Maybe like a consultant.
And maybe she's getting a more advanced role in the creative team. They basically said, okay, you join the TNA creative team and you book the Knockouts. We'll see how you do with the Knockouts, and if you show that you can impress us, then we'll give you a larger role within the creative team, and maybe that's why the announcement came out yesterday. But she's been doing that for a while now, so it's not really... You always say it's hot. It's freezing in here.
It's hot.
It is cold in here, man.
I think I'm getting sick again.
I don't know. It's cold. So listen, we got to jump right into it. I have the predictions here from Sunday night.
I'll give you one guess. Who got more right? I'll just put that out there.
I'm gonna try to explain myself, and hopefully you will agree. I know the Army will agree because we went through this on Saturday when we did the live WrestleMania special. We went through this, and I told you that if Rusev was not in the match, that I was gonna pick the Big Show. Rusev.
It has nothing to do with nothing. We were both
doesn't.
Wrong there.
And then the other one, we had everything else. We agreed.
For the most part.
But it was John Cena and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And when we came on here, I said, if you take Cena, I'll take Bray. If I take Bray, you take Cena. If I take Cena, you take Bray. Something like that.
Yeah,
okay.
Whatever.
Whoever takes the opposite, and it turns out that Cena won, and I had Bray, and going in, it's WrestleMania. You're thinking John Cena's probably it's WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
I explained it very well. If you go back and listen, I said he's not losing. John Cena. I wasn't like, because you're saying, I picked the guy you didn't pick.
It would have been.
It wasn't like I just flip flopped and picked somebody you didn't pick. I started with my pick, and I said, I've got a very definite answer on this one. Now, I was wrong as how it would happen. I said Hogan would do the save, all that shit, and that's how he'd win. But I just thought there's no way he's going to lose at WrestleMania 2 out of the last 3.
It made sense. I agreed with that.
I don't agree with it because he shouldn't have won, but he did.
Right. Well, that's the thing. If there was ever a point to put over Bray Wyatt, it would have been at WrestleMania, biggest show of them all. So let's get right into it. First things first. Thank you. Yesterday on WZR Online,
video like WWE did. Thank you, fans.
Yesterday on WZROnline.com. Listen, you guys knew we put the post up a week or two saying you're gonna want to check back to the websites as often as possible as this next week and going into this week are going to be insane as far as news is concerned. And man, Thursday came around. Access began on Thursday. Friday it got busier. Saturday it was busy. We talked about it on here. Sunday it was WrestleMania day, so it got even busier. And then yesterday, I've been doing this for about 15 years now. I think a little bit longer than 15 years, right? We're going on 16 years, something like that.
I don't know. I know I started in 99 because I remember working on New Year's Eve when the ball dropped, because I remember thinking, because it was Y2K, I remember thinking, oh shit, I'm in the middle of work, I wonder if my computer's going to shut down, all the lights go out, I wonder if the whole world's going to,
Oh god, conspiracy theorist.
But, they had people convinced. If you can put your mind back in the time of 99, a lot of people were, I didn't know what was going to happen, I didn't think the world was going to end, but I was like, yo, what the fuck's going to happen?
Nothing.
Yeah.
So listen, and yesterday, I've been doing this for 15, 16 years, somewhere around there, and
but by the way, that would make it, it's 2004, that would make it 15 years.
15 years?
That I've been in. And I was before you, so.
Right, so maybe 14, 15 for me, somewhere around 15 years, but I think I can go on record as saying yesterday was probably one of, if not the busiest day I've ever had in 15 years. There's been WrestleMania. WrestleMania every year comes around and you have that post-Mania, that Monday. I would say yesterday with the network announcement, the Jarrett stuff, there were releases. Vicky Guerrero's gone from WWE. Ezekiel Jackson's gone from WWE. The Christy Hemme on the creative. There was so much news. Right? Yeah, there was so much news that came out yesterday. The Undertaker, the videos that came out, the hospitalization thing, Vince McMahon not staying for the main event. It just went on and on and on yesterday.
A lot of MMA shit too. Jake Shields got cut.
Jake Shields
moved
fired.
Chael Sonnen and Vanderlei Silva to 75.
It was probably the busiest Monday that I've ever experienced, man. It was just nonstop. I don't know how many links I put up on Facebook yesterday, but it just seemed like,
you kept going after we counted, but we counted at one point last night. You did 70 posts.
There were 68 posts, and I did a couple more posts after that. So I think we topped out. We were over 70 posts on the website yesterday. 70 posts. Then
I did about 20, 25.
It probably wound up about 73 posts yesterday. 72, 73, 74.
20, 25 posts, but I also did 4 hours of play-by-play 3 nights in a row.
Right.
Did a bunch of columns for Wrestling News. I've done 3 or 4 this week already, so I've been staying busy.
So, and not only that, but we had Jorge Romero made things 100 times worse for us as he kept sending these images and these photos and these videos, and they kept coming in on Twitter, and it just created like 10 times the amount of news. Jorge Ranjit was another one that kept.
I would say it made it 100 times easier, because for a lot of that stuff we would have had to report anyway. And at least I know I did it this way. He made it so easy that I would just go and because you can embed the tweets. Go grab it, embed, slap it on, write a little intro for it. Boom, there's a post.
It was just, Jorge did a great job. Ranjit did a great job. Everybody. And then Ranjit! Yesterday on the website, so I went in at midnight yesterday. Actually, we had traffic was so high that I broke the counter on WZROnline.com. I broke the counter broke. It's still broke right now. I gotta fix it. But the inline thing broke.
But the server held up, I guess. Huh?
The server held up. It only went down one time yesterday during the morning, and it was only down for less than 5 minutes. So by the end of the day yesterday, we had 43,000 unique visitors on the website, on WZR Online. 43,000 different people came and visited WZROnline.com yesterday. It was an all-time record. It was all time. We've never been, and not only that, but we're at about 20,000 unique.
The Benoit stuff didn't give you more traffic than that.
All time traffic record yesterday. We had about 130,000 page views and 43,000 uniques, which is an all time record, which is awesome. So thank you guys for continuing to come back to the website. There was a time yesterday between the hours of about 4 and 7 p.m. we had over 3,000 different unique visitors per hour hitting the site. 3,000 different people in 60 minutes, in 1 hour, hitting the website between 4 and 7 yesterday. So
you're drawing from a new,
unbelievable.
You got a new fan base that you're drawing from
now.
Right. With that one site. So,
right.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. So a big thank you to all you guys that have been checking back. A lot of people, Vicky Guerrero did finish up Sunday night at WrestleMania. She is done with WWE.
My boss broke that story.
Right. He, well... She's parting on good terms. There's no bad blood or anything like that. She just said that it's time for me to,
She's been going to college or something, right?
She's been going to college, and it was just time for her to spend some time with her family and take a break. She's been on the road.
I made a good chunk
house shows and everything else. Right. So the busiest day ever yesterday. Taker streak ended at WrestleMania 30. We're going to get into WrestleMania. Before we do, I want to talk about something that came out yesterday. WWE issued a press release. We knew that this was coming the day after WrestleMania. WWE was going to reveal the amount of network subscribers.
We did half a show on this yesterday without any cameras or microphones. We just started talking about the number, and 30 minutes later, we realized, holy shit, we pretty much just did tomorrow's show already today.
Yeah, it was, so the network, they sent out a press release, and you got to give it to them. They had to have been as honest as possible because they've got shareholders and everything else, and we'll get into that in just a second. Honest in...
There was a little asterisk they put at the bottom. You know how sometimes at the bottom of something you'll see like card subject to change, or this or that. They had a little one of those kind of things.
Oh, it said that it hadn't debuted in Canada or the United Kingdom.
No, it was something that doesn't count for people who. I'll get it in a second.
All right. Well, anyways,
here it
they released the official number. It came out yesterday morning. It was
right
600. About what was the official number?
667,284, and then it says 1, which means you go down here, you read the 1, and it says current subscriber number, the 667 figure, does not account for potential failures to comply with subscription terms and 6-month commitment. I keep reading that, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
660,000 subscribers to the WWE Network. Now, well, some people are going to say, well, that's a great number for WWE. It's only been up for, what, 7 weeks now, or 6 weeks, or something like that.
Or no, wait, 42 days.
42 days.
That's what they said in the release.
So about a month, right? A month and a half, okay? So... Everybody's, there's a lot of people, I was on Facebook yesterday, they're saying, well, that's a great number for WWE. Here's the deal. Internally, WWE expected, they set a goal, of 1 million domestic United States subscribers by the end of the year. So we're talking, they've got till the end of the year to hit 1 million domestic subscribers.
Yeah, domestic.
They set an easy goal where they thought 1 million would have been not a problem. They expected to have close to 1 million yesterday. When they sent that, they had planned all along to send a press release out yesterday. They had planned, they wanted close to 1 million subscribers.
That's the break-even number for domestic.
For domestic.
The amount of money they put in for the production, to staff it, to staff the different shit they're doing, to unroll the video library, which apparently is a long process, to promote it. For the services, all that stuff. All the money they put into it to get a break even, the amount of subscribers they needed at $9.99 a month with a 6-month commitment was around 1 million. And yeah, that was their goal by the end of the year. But in all intents and purposes, whatever they announced the day after Mania, it's not going to be a whole lot different by the end of the year domestically, because if you didn't sign up for Mania, are you going to sign up for Extreme Rules?
This is the problem with that number. The following WrestleMania, when the network launches, you're going to have your initial diehard core, WWE fans are going to sign up because WWE, it's the network.
The number we heard the first day they launched or whatever,
it's like
300,000, 350,000, something like that.
So you're going to have those people sign up. And then you would hope that when WrestleMania comes around, which was, Saturday over the weekend, Sunday, you're going to get a surge of signups. And think WrestleMania normally gets what, 1 million buys, 1.2 million buys, somewhere around there, right?
Not domestic.
So not domestic.
Overall. Yeah.
So they were hoping that they would have the initial signups, and then you would have a surge for WrestleMania, which I'm sure they did. I'm sure they had that surge for WrestleMania. Now you've got 660,000 subscribers. Good number, right? Really good number.
It's a great number. It's bad news.
The problem is it's bad news, and the reason it's bad news is because now the people that signed up for WrestleMania, they're locked in for 6 months. If these people that didn't sign up for WrestleMania, they sure as hell aren't going to sign up for Extreme Rules, like you said, and Payback and these other pay-per-views. So now the problem is and
they're not adding any new original programs.
Well, they're going to debut Legends.
But that's shit that people already know is coming. And I don't think people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to get it for Mania or all this stuff. I'm going to wait till they debut Legends House, then I'll order. Nobody's thinking like that.
So now you've got the initial signups, and you've got the people that came to order WrestleMania. You got 660,000 people. Now you've got till the end of the year to get to 1 million people. The problem with that is you've got your diehard fans already signed up. You've got the people that wanted to watch WrestleMania. You've got them signed up. They are going to trickle in. The signups from now until the end of the year are going to trickle in, where you're not going to get these major surges. Maybe for SummerSlam you'll get a little bit of a surge, but the people that they would have ordered WrestleMania, and by the time SummerSlam comes around, they still got that 6 months.
Yeah.
So they're not going to need to sign up. They're already signed up.
Well, no, it'll be expired by then, probably. It'll be right around then, August.
So you got...
if it's been 42 days and you signed up, all right, so you're already a month into your 6 months. So that means you got 5 months left.
Right.
You got April, May, June, July, August is exactly 5 months. So it'd be real close. Either they get SummerSlam and then they immediately have to resubscribe, but real quick, that's only
they're gonna come damn close to hitting 1 million.
The trickle in part, that's the only thing people seem to be acknowledging right now. Like, all right, so we got our big surge, we'll get a little trickle effect of people coming here and there, not in big droves.
Right.
How about the fact that people who signed up for 6 months, once the 6 months is up, especially if they get SummerSlam as part of it,
are they coming back or no?
What are they going to re-sign up for?
Right.
To watch more WCCW TV shows from 1983? No.
They've got to bring on reality shows, and they've got to keep people hooked.
But I don't think people are going to. I don't think people are going to spend. I mean, unless it's just laziness, like, fuck it, I don't feel like canceling. But are they going to want to spend $60 more for Legends House?
They're not. The very diehard fans really care about the WWC library, right?
WWC?
World Wrestling Council.
The Puerto Rican one?
Yeah.
Okay.
WWC.
Yeah.
Right?
They don't have that yet, but
okay. They're gonna launch it. That was part of Carlos's Colon's induction. But so anyway, these subscribers are gonna trickle in. So the hope was to have around 1 million by the time the press release came out yesterday, and then by the end of the year they would be able to go out and tell their shareholders, hey, we told you guys that we were gonna have 1 million. We got 1.6, 1.7 million, something like that. That is the reason yesterday you saw WWE stock plummet. I mean, these guys, they're smart enough, exactly what we're talking about right now. The shareholders were smart enough to say, wow, you know what? That number kind of sucks, and we don't know if this is going to... And then it's
a great number for now, but like you said, the news around it, the fact that Mania only added that many, you're about to have all kinds of shit here. The fact that Mania only brought in that many, and you keep talking about this trickle effect of the trickle up. Right. I'm more looking at the trickle down.
Trickle down,
the people who aren't going to subscribe again now that they've got their Mania, and Mania's over with.
Right.
A lot of people are probably going to not re-sign up for it, unless they can find a new hook by the time the 6 month period's up. But I'm saying by the end of the year, for every...
Do they hit 1 million by the end of the year?
That's what I was going to say. If they get this, is it feasible that another 300,000, 330,000, whatever, could sign up by the end of the year?
Absolutely.
330,000 more people?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. But how many of the 667,000 are guaranteed to re-sign up once they've already got their Mania? A lot of those people signed up because, I can get Mania for $10, and the next few pay-per-views, $60 total. If I'm going to order Mania anyways, I might as well order the network instead of the pay-per-view because I get all this other shit with it. But they're basically signing up for Mania. The other stuff's just a bonus. So once they have the reason they signed up for behind them,
right,
all this bonus stuff that's like, oh, cool, I get this stuff too. Is that shit enough for them to say, oh, well, let me re-sign up even though I only signed up to get Mania? I don't think so.
I don't think it is. I think
at the end of the year we're looking at 750, 800,000.
I'd say about 800,000 by the end of the year. They're not going to hit that million mark because, like we talked about, they're going to trickle in now. You're not going to get these major surges for the launch for WrestleMania. If they can't get people for the launch in WrestleMania, good luck for the rest of the year trying to get people to sign up. And then when people, like you said, when their contracts, their 6 months, subscription, when it ends, they may jet out, and that's going to take it even less and less and less. Now, of course, we'll see. And I think that's why shareholders saw yesterday in WWE stock dropped another 7% today. It dropped yesterday. It went from like $29 yesterday to something like $20, and it's down, even lower today. So it's not good news. The network number, it may seem like good news on the forefront when WWE sends out a press release and you guys automatically see 660,000. Wow, that's crazy.
Okay.
But think...
It went... What the fuck is that?
A cell phone.
Yours?
No.
21... It's 21.97. Or it was. Okay, here's the news.
Okay.
As soon as it was announced, it dropped $6.07.
That's insane. And normally it drops like a couple cents.
Before the announcement, it was $28.04 per share. The second the announcement was made, or as soon as hours after the announcement, it went down $6.07 from 28 to 21.97. Right now, the chat room said that it is at.
I just put it up on the website.
22.
It's about
$22.21. So it's back up by fucking 25 cents, which is not a whole lot. So it's still
not good.
They're bailing.
On the forefront when they released the press release yesterday, you guys see 666,000, whatever the fuck it is, right? It looks good. It looks good, but think about it. Now that everybody signed up for WrestleMania, everybody signed up for it's not good. It's not a good number. It's a good number, but it's not what WWE was expecting more. Well, despite the fact that they said 1 million by the end of the year, they were expecting to come out in that press release yesterday and be able to brag their asses off.
A lot of people in the company, they were keeping the numbers secretive, but a lot of people in the company heard rumblings and whispers that it's better than expected. It's good. It's good. So people were expecting 1 million. Now here's the thing. The million number by the end of the year was the break-even mark, like we said. There's ways to make that break-even mark less than 1 million.
Right.
We've heard talk that they might raise the price from $9.99 to $11.99. That would offset it. And additionally, you can lower production costs by, all right, let's do less original content. Let's stop fucking funding shit like Countdown. Let's stop funding WrestleMania Rewind.
I don't have a lighter, dude.
Listen to you cocksucker.
I know, I'm listening.
I'd like you to repeat what I just said.
Basically, what they're thinking about doing, and we put it up on the website today, is to offset the lesser amount of subscribers. They would raise the price to $11.99 or $12.99 next year. Then that's where I cut you off, and I was doing my thing. So,
okay, the other thing they can do is lower the production.
Come on, give me credit. I was listening a little bit.
That part was before all right. They can lower production costs, too, if they stop funding Countdown, WrestleMania Rewind. These shows that take fucking money to set up the studio, to run the cameras and all this shit, and to get the talent in for interviews, and to edit it together, and all that fucking production money.
Save a lot of money.
They lower that shit and do less original content. They stop fucking... or they stock up the price a little bit. These things combined can take your break even from 1 million subscribers down to 800,000, 750, which is a realistic number. So it could still break even. And then the real big last question mark we have with this network is,
and then we'll move on to WrestleMania.
Yeah, the real last important big thing we need to find out that we don't have an answer for yet about the network is
the United Kingdom,
the
Canada,
international subscribers.
How many
does that add? I'm of the opinion that
it's not at anything right now, but when they launch it next year,
some people are able to get it, but it's such a fucking. It was 1% of the availability,
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
When the announcement came yesterday, 660,000, right? Do you think, and you know the way WWE is, Remember that first week where they gave the free trial away?
Yeah.
Do you think those people are included?
No, it's not.
In
That's
number?
that's what that little thing I read
Okay.
means. They told me in the chat. They said that means it doesn't include
the free trial.
The free trial
Okay.
people.
All
The
right.
6
All
months
right,
commitment
good.
they were talking about. Is
Good,
the
because I was
people
going to say
Yeah.
you could drop that by about maybe 100,000 people who signed up for the free trial, and that's
300,000 because we heard
Right.
300,000 signed up the day. Well, that was the day it launched, right?
Right.
All right. But I'm thinking internationally. I'm thinking it's going to be pretty even. If you add up all those countries,
probably even.
Yeah.
With all the countries combined, like you said, right?
I'm thinking you're good for at least another $500,000, at least.
Right.
Probably more. I'm guessing. I don't know, but that means combined nationally and internationally.
But they needed
all combined. When you add it all up, you're looking at
maybe $1.5 million, $2
million.
They needed 3 to 4, bro.
Yeah, because
they needed 3 to 4.
Because now, when you do the international expansion, the production, all the money, the promotion, all the money that goes into it, now becomes way greater with the international expansion. So the numbers you need out here is pretty much equal to the numbers you needed here. With the, so at the end of the day, they're gonna have to make some changes.
They needed 3 to 4 million when it's all said and done. When everybody, when domestic and international is signed up, they needed 3 to 4 million. And with the announcement of 600 and something thousand yesterday,
they really fucked themselves with one major.
They're gonna have to cut costs, like
one major thing they fucked themselves with.
Okay.
That $9.99 number, they could have easily made that $15.
Right. Yep.
And everybody would have thought, what a great deal, because nobody was expecting WrestleMania to be part of it. Nobody was expecting all pay-per-views to be part of it.
All the pay-per-views for $9.99
I think they thought that $10 was
right.
such a nice number, because it's less than two figures, $9.99.
But when you're getting every pay-per-view, bro,
now
come on,
the reason they fucked themselves is because it's not a big deal to charge $15 out the gate. It is a big deal to fucking less than a year after launching already start jacking the price up.
Right.
Because then the buyers are like, well, what the fuck? They're going to start raising it.
They're going to start raising it.
And why do I know they're going to raise it again? And they're going to raise it again. Fuck it. I don't want to deal with that. And you don't want to turn your customers off. You want them to be excited about it. And
absolutely.
So they kind of shot themselves.
All right. So the WWE Network, listen, when it's all said and done, the number may look good on paper to you guys. Think about it in the long run, and it's not a good number what they came up with. Get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat, WZROnline.com/chat. We are not going to be able to do rapid fire tonight. It's just way too busy with news and everything else. We're going to get into one more big topic yesterday that was announced, sent out, press release, Jeff Jarrett's new promotion.
I don't know a lot about that yet.
He didn't announce.
I know the name of the company, and that's really it.
Didn't announce very many details yesterday, but he's going to come out with a...
Next Monday they have another announcement scheduled,
So
that'll probably be the reality show, I'm thinking, that we heard about.
Jeff Jarrett
They were going to launch a reality show before the promotion to like tell the story of the promotion and what they're doing.
I didn't hear that. Really?
Yeah. Like kind of like UFC did with Ultimate Fighter. They launched that Ultimate Fighter on their first TV thing they got, which got people invested into the sport and
into invested the product,
into these specific fighters, so that when they fought, you wanted to see them fight.
Right.
Same way Raw builds the pay-per-views. It's a like a process, you know?
Right.
So I heard that they were going to do a reality show with Jeff and Karen Jarrett to launch into the promotion.
And Jeff and Karen are all part of the big announcement next week. They made that clear on the website. So while we're on the subject, Jeff Jarrett sent out a press release yesterday.
What do you think of the name?
Name of the
Global Force Wrestling.
Global Force, that's what it was. That second one.
I
immediately thought of that, bro. When they announced the promotion, right? I don't like the logo. I don't like the logo. Kind of a plain logo. But
I think it's a joke to call it global.
Well, he's trying to go international.
But it's not global yet. You start national, you expand international. They're not going to come right out the gate with TV deals in England and Canada and
let me say
Mexico
this. You know how hot the overseas market is with WWE and TNA. Maybe Jarrett has plans to run events.
The whole idea is that this promotion is going to introduce talent to the national stage. We're going to take all these international stars that people don't know but are awesome.
Right.
Best guys in Mexico, best guys in Japan, best guys in England.
But if
and this is our place to get showcased in America, so thus Global Wrestling Federation.
All right, what about this though? If I'm Jeff Jarrett, I say, okay, I see what TNA house shows. Unfair comparison. We don't even know what Jarrett's going to do with his promotion. But I see TNA live events drawing 500 people, 1,000 people, you know, in these markets. I see WWE house shows drawing 3,000, 4,000 people. It's just terrible.
500 to 1,000 for TNA?
For TNA house shows.
That's being extremely generous.
There's been 500?
They've had 500 and 1,000 shows, yeah. But
right.
I'd say the average is like 200, 300 fans.
No, it's a little bit above that.
Dude, I write the attendance every week. Every Wednesday night, I write the attendance.
They get a good 400. They get a good 400 or 500.
All right, well, the whole point, though, the global thing is, it's not a smart idea.
I would say if I'm Jarrett...
You know why Ring of Honor draws?
Hear me out.
Ring of Honor draws because they stay local. They build their territory here, like the old territory days. You got your local fans... And then you slowly expand.
Who's to say Jarrett's not doing that?
Start off with a
Who's to say Jarrett's not doing that?
Global Force Wrestling. I think
Global Force. You just said that they're going to showcase talents.
I think that's what the name is. Yeah.
Well, if I'm Jarrett though, if I'm Jarrett and I see the TNA attendance, I see Ring of Honor. Even when Ring of Honor goes to certain markets, they draw 800, 900 fans in certain markets.
Which is amazing.
If I'm Jarrett, I look overseas and I say when WWE, even TNA, when TNA goes overseas, they draw 5,000, 4,000, 5,000 people in TNA.
But they've got a strong international TV deal. Jarrett doesn't have international TV lined up. He might have CMT. That's not in fucking England. People
from the United Kingdom, all the time, I see them on my Facebook page, and they say that the UK is so starved for pro wrestling over there where they don't have these indie promotions. People can't see wrestling overseas, and that's why it's such a big deal when WWE and TNA come to the country, because fans are able to see a wrestling event. There's not many indie promotions, so if Jarrett goes over there,
there's indie promotions. The biggest stars in wrestling are all in America.
Okay,
English-speaking stars at least. You know, Japan has their big stars, but those are only Japan stars.
So
the biggest English-speaking stars are in our country. So when they go to England, it's their one chance to see them live. Plus, TNA and WWE have real strong TVs in England. Specifically, we're talking about England.
Right.
Jarrett is going to come on with a local national TV deal in America and try and take that over there. We don't even know if that's what he's trying to do, but I'm saying that's not going to draw that great.
I think it will.
Over there.
I think if Jeff Jarrett
if he gets enough big name stars, it will.
I think if Jeff Jarrett takes American talents and he goes overseas to the United Kingdom or Australia, somewhere over there, and he says, I'm going to run an event. Even without a TV deal or anything like that, his first couple events, I think that he could draw a couple thousand people.
Thousand?
Just based off if he contacts a promoter out of the UK, a few different promoters,
co-promotes.
And they promote that there's going to be a big wrestling event with this guy, Jeff Jarrett's going to be here. I think they can draw 1,000-2,000 fans. You put that product on television with a big audience from overseas.
Yeah. I think it's all dependent on who he gets, who the guys he has are. You can't decide. You can't claim he's going to draw thousands of people without knowing if he's got any stars.
Or that's we don't even know the roster.
Exactly.
We don't even know the talent.
I mean, I've heard Kurt Angle might be one of the anchor guys, but you know.
So anyway, they announced that. By the way, we've confirmed
AJ Styles probably.
AJ Styles will be one, no doubt. By the way, we've confirmed Sting and WWE have agreed to terms. The deal is complete. Sting is going to be in WWE. He strongly hinted. He said his new favorite number was 31 at the WrestleCon convention. Put the video up on the website, but the deal is confirmed. It's Sting is with WWE. Yeah. When he's going to debut, there was talk, that they may do something on Raw, air a video pack, something like that. Yeah. There was talk of Sting Undertaker.
Well, the last word that we heard as far as when he debuts is he's not going to be on TV for a while.
Right.
So it's not going to be anytime soon.
He was not backstage at Raw last night, but Sting has reached a deal with WWE. So
in 31, it sounds like he's going to have one match at WrestleMania 31. It's in Santa Clara, California. He's a California guy.
He's a California guy, right?
So it makes sense. And
but Sting is they've reached a deal with WWE. So eventually, you are going to see Sting. I know you guys hear the rumors every year.
Got a year to get in shape.
Sting's never going to be in WWE. We're never going to see him. We hear this every year. This year, it's confirmed. The deal is
a done deal when it happens.
I don't know that the WWE fan base is going to know who Sting is.
They'll tell them,
casual fan. Well, they'll tell them.
They'll tell the story with they own the footage, obviously. Right. So they'll do a good job of explaining who he is, and they're already starting with teases here and there. Like I was watching the what's it called, the Ultimate Collection, the new Ultimate Warrior DVD, and he's talking about because they started off together, Blade Runners. It was Warrior and Sting was a tag team.
God, the Blade. He brings up the Blade Runners. There's this guy, there's a Blade Runner dude, and there's a murder trial overseas right now, and this guy...
What's that got to do with Blade Runners? That's his name?
He's got no legs, and he's Olympic athlete, right? And he runs with like they call
Is
him
that the guy
Blade.
that killed the woman in the bathroom?
Killed the woman in the
That was
bathroom.
a while ago,
Dude,
wasn't it?
he is in court now, and it's all over the news. The guy, he's on the stand right now with the testimony. He is giving his own testimony of what happened, and he's just sobbing, dude. I'm so sorry. Dude, and this goes on for like 4 or 5 hours, and he's just sobbing as the family sits in court. It's ridiculous, man. Anyways, we got to get into it, man. It is, this is what we're going to do. We got 20 minutes to run down WrestleMania. Think we can do it. In our numero dos, we're going to take Hall of Fame as well. We can't do rapid fire because we've got to get through the Hall of Fame, WrestleMania, and Monday Night Raw. So the Hall of Fame, we'll briefly touch on that right now. Let's get into it. WZROnline.com/chat, the official website of WZR TV, Tuesdays, WZROnline.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as well. Facebook.com/WZR Army, Twitter.com/something, and YouTube.com/WZR Archive. Go to WZROnline.com, top navigation bar, drop down menu. It's got all the links to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. WZROnline.com, the official home of WZR TV Tuesdays. We got a lot of new people listening tonight. If you like what you hear tonight, come back every Tuesday night. 8 to 10 Eastern Time, same place, same time, every Tuesday, 8 to 10 Eastern Time. So,
yes.
WWE Hall of Fame ceremony. I love the red carpet deal that they did. I thought that was cool.
The pre-show stuff?
Gave it a big
yeah, it
big
felt
feel
like the
to
Oscars.
it,
They
right?
had a red carpet special like the
Right?
Oscars. Yeah, so it was cool.
It's good stuff. I thought Jerry Lawler was a good host.
He always
Lita, my God. I mean, Lita went on for like an hour?
And she was
like
a horrible storyteller, too. Like, for the longest time, you're like, what is she saying? What? Get
right?
to the point. What the fuck are you talking
Trish
about?
Stratus came out to introduce her, right? Introduce her, right? Came out to introduce her, and she kept saying, they even aired the video on Raw, after Raw last night. She says, yeah, and you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
She always says that.
And she did this, and she's a cool chick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like a really cool chick.
Always with
you know
the
what I
chick.
mean?
That's a pretty good impression.
God, dude, it was.
What do you think of Trish with the brown,
bring Lita out.
The brown hair? What do you think? Better as a blonde, better as a brunette?
Better as a blonde. Big time.
That's one chick I'll agree. Not everybody. You know that I like the dark hair, dark guys. You like the Barbie doll bitches with the blonde hair. I like the dark hair, dark guys.
Barbie doll bitches.
Whatever. Yeah, I like the Italian, Puerto Rican, Spanish, like those kind of.
I know you're a dark haired guy.
She's one chick that looks better blonde.
Yeah.
She is fucking smoking hot though. It's fucking painful to look at. It's like, how the fuck is that fair? To look that good.
No, she is hot, man. So Lita came out and went on and on and on and on and on about Team Extreme, and she started from she started from the beginning. She started from the bottom. Anyway, she started
pretty
from
much
the very
her entire life story.
The entire life story.
I was born a small kid in a rural town of blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Grew up and moved here.
I loved when Carlito came out to introduce his father, Carlos Colon. He says,
What's up with you
introduce. I'm sorry. When he came out, right, it was in between like two big Hall of Fame names. Like it was Scott Hall and then the Warrior. And Carlito comes out and he's like, well, yeah, we got to introduce. We got to induct my father, and we just had a big name announced, big name Hall of Famer announced, and now we're kind of like the filler, we're the in-between before the main event, and he's like, nothing's changed. I come back and nothing's changed.
And I was told that I'm getting cut short or something. It's like nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was badass.
Primo and Epico didn't like it, man. They looked at him like, dude, come on, man.
Well, they still got to work there.
They still got to work there. They're like, dude, you're going to get us fired. What are you doing saying something like that?
I'll agree with you. Lita's speech was god-awful, way too long, because of her and one other person, which I don't even want to mention yet because I want to save it and do it chronologically.
All right.
Another person went crazy long.
Right.
But then we got to the real highlight right after Lita, which was
Jake the Snake?
Yeah, DDP came out and introduced Jake the Snake, and Jake the Snake still, everybody always chants, you still got him when somebody from the past comes, even if they don't.
Right.
It's just a sign of respect, I guess. But that motherfucker still gots it.
Yeah.
Man, when he talks, everybody shuts up.
Right.
You can hear a pin drop. You could hear, what's that expression? You could hear a mouse piss on a cotton. Yeah. That's how fucking quiet people are. Out of respect for Jake, and he talks real softly with the gravelly voice.
Right,
Everybody
right.
shuts up because they want to hear what he's got to
He
say.
put over
He's the
DDP.
man.
He put over DDP,
Makes
which
me
was
sick. You
which
get
was
in
awesome.
fights with my favorite people, Roddy Piper, Jake Roberts. I gotta go because you're my best buddy. I gotta ride with you. But man, I'm like, why are we're fighting Roddy Piper?
I'm cool with Piper.
He's my
now,
hero.
man. Piper's my man.
Jake Roberts,
Piper's
my hero. I gotta talk trash about these guys on the air.
So
you made up with him, but goddamn, he's good. Damn,
DDP came out and introduced him, said that he's done a great job, with his sobriety and everything else. He kind of took him in.
DDP's
DDP was good too.
He's a hero, man.
He really is.
Somebody said, I think it was Jim Ross. I mean, everybody said it, but Jim Ross put it real well. I don't remember what he said, but the basic gist was that there's two guys that if you were ever to count two people out, you never want to count anybody out in life.
Right.
But if there's two guys in the wrestling business where you're like, they don't stand a fucking chance. Yeah. They're too far gone. They're too far the other way. They're never getting clean. They're on a death track.
Right.
DDP turned Scott Hall and Jake Roberts' life around. Now, there's a lot of people that thought Scott Hall was drunk at the Hall of Fame. Have you heard that talk?
No.
A lot of discussion about that. Yeah.
I thought he looked great. He sounded great too.
He sounded alright.
He sounded good.
I got my suspicions.
Yeah?
I got my suspicions.
Oh,
Jake
I don't know.
would be the one you would think, because he's the one we've heard has fallen off the wagon a bunch during the recovery process.
Right.
We haven't heard a lot about Scott falling off the wagon.
Well, and Scott's also in a house now living with his son. He's not in DDP's
Jake isn't either, I don't think, is he?
I think Jake moved out too, right? But Jake's doing good, so that's good.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Speaking of Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, they did have Kevin Nash, Diesel come out. Kevin was real quick in inducting.
You're out of order here, but okay.
That's all right. We gotta fly through. I didn't even know we were gonna do this. Oh God, there's a video online. Mr. T comes out, and listen. Granted, Mr. T,
fuck man,
he's he loves his mom.
Oh my
he
God,
loves his mama.
Hold on, let me give my catchphrase. Did I come up with a good one? You don't remember? You posted on Facebook with credit to me and everything.
No, you said that you were going to bring a joke.
No, that was the beginning, the Christy Hemme thing.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start with the biggest story of the
weekend.
That
was your joke?
I said it's a simple joke, yeah. It's a little intro joke. Let's start with the biggest news of the week. Christy Hemme joined the Team Grid.
Correct.
But no, the catchphrase that I invented, because he kept reading biblical passages and reciting religious shit, and I'm religious too. I believe in God and all that. But he was shoving it down people's throats to the point where, like, all right, dude, you believe in God, I get it.
I know.
You love your mom, we get it, because all the mom stuff. So
dude, there's a video.
I borrowed in the spirit of Jake Roberts being there in Austin when Jake was doing the religious stuff. Said Austin 3:16 says, "I just whipped your ass."
Right.
I wrote on Facebook, and now I've built it up way too much, but I wrote Mr. T 3:16 says I love my mama.
Says I love my mama.
Yeah.
Now I remember.
Combining the biblical stuff.
I remember.
With the mom worship. But God damn, he went on and on.
He went on
He went on so long with that mom shit.
They had to send somebody out.
Well, that too, but it went from being boring to fucking painful,
right,
to funny and awesome.
Yeah,
there was even a "This Is Awesome" chick.
Right, dude. Because
I love my mom on Labor Day. Yeah. I love my mom on President's Day.
The crowd knew it sucked.
Man,
they knew it sucked so
it
bad
fucking awesome.
that it became like, wow, this is awesome.
So bad. It's
this
good.
Is so bad. It's good.
It was awesome.
And then
like you
Kane's
said,
music. Kane
out
comes
of the
out.
blue, he's still with the mom this, mom that.
And he wasn't going to stop.
No.
So finally, Kane's music hits, and he comes out, and you hear
he doesn't say a word.
You hear Mr. T say, sorry.
Oh, looks like I'm out of time. I got to wrap it up. But
sorry.
But Kane was a gangster, dude. He didn't say a word. He didn't even... They hit his music, he walked out, he just stood there, and he was like...
Get the fuck off the stage.
Yeah, Mr. T put his hand
you know that somebody, it was probably Vince backstage saying, dude, go out there and get him the fuck off.
Kane was on deck because he came out next to induct Paul Bearer.
right.
Big fucker. If Mr. T was going to spaz out, Kane could, I'm sure Kane could take care of himself, you know.
Yeah. You know that Vince was backstage saying, go out there and get him the fuck off this stage.
There's a couple people throughout the Hall of Fame history that have gone, like, notoriously long. Ric Flair's speech went like 67 minutes, I think, the year he did.
They let Warrior go as long as they wanted for obvious reasons.
He went on for a while too.
Warriors was a good speech. I thought Warrior was really good.
I thought he was gonna babble and make no sense, and he did do some babbling, senseless, nonsensical fucking rambling.
No, he was good.
But for the most part, he was damn good.
He was respectable too, man. He could have came out there and trashed WWE.
He took a couple shots.
He took a couple shots,
but for the most part,
subtle.
he was very respectful. Now, the line of the night came from Razor Ramon.
Oh, he came out on stage and he said...
He was so brief, though. He was the one speech I was looking for. Yeah. He was the one speech. Hey, yo. He was the one speech I was looking forward to more than any of them, and he was gone before you knew it.
He was real quick.
That's because everybody, Lita, Mr. T, they took so long that people like fucking Carlito and Razor were probably told, hey, I know, you could spend some time, but try not to go forever.
Right.
So, but Razor's line at the very end, I'm trying to get it right here. He
said, man, yeah, he did say,
he said, did I quote it in my
something,
play? I know it.
You can kill but you can't ever kill the bad guy.
I don't have it there, but he says, all right, bad times don't last, but bad guys do. But he had something.
That's it.
He had something before it that led into it, but because it rhymed. But it was an awesome line.
It was an awesome line too.
He's the man, bro. They did two random things in there too.
Oh, with Wade Barrett came out.
Wade Barrett did a bad news. His bad news. What was it? I don't think this is the closest all you guys will ever see get to being in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
All the guys in the crowd. But the other one was Hornswoggle and El Torito
come out running on stage. It
chasing
was
each other around.
Right?
They gored Jerry Lawler in the nuts or something.
Right.
What the fuck
this
was
is
that?
kind of a respectful type event. And you've got Hornswoggle.
I didn't understand that.
We can let's move on. The Warrior speech was
and the Paul Bearer, Undertaker came out and did the salute.
They did. They had his sons out there, Michael and Daniel. They were out there. The impression it sounded just like his father, man. All right, so then we get to WrestleMania 30.
If you're gonna say it,
Sunday night WrestleMania, brothers. So,
brother.
Now, when they opened it up, Triple H had said on Raw the previous week. We're gonna get into that when we talk about Hogan. Said that there was going to be a flyover. There was no flyover.
Yeah,
there was no America the Beautiful. There
I
was
noticed
no
that. That's
national anthem.
That might be the first year ever that they didn't do
normally
America the Beautiful.
When they do America the Beautiful, doesn't it?
Why do I think it's a different
It's
song?
America the Beautiful, man. They do it. But doesn't that, when they kick off the event, right? And they do the singing of America the Beautiful, doesn't it make it feel like, wow, this is WrestleMania, we've got America the Beautiful.
And they had all those bands there. One of them could have went out and did America the Beautiful.
Or bring in, like, David Otunga's, Jennifer Hudson, she's a great singer. Like that. So bring anybody in, man. In front of 70,000 people. You think Rev Theory performing Orton's theme, the guy that did Bray Wyatt's theme, you think they're going to say no to going out there in front of 80,000 people, 80,000 people? Anybody is going to take that opportunity because Rev Theory is playing in places that draw, a couple thousand.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's very, very interesting that they didn't start at all. I wonder why.
No America the Beautiful, nothing.
I mean, it couldn't be like, we don't have enough time. It's a fucking 4-minute song. You ain't got 4 minutes to sing a song.
I understand that no flyover. I mean, that's
1 minute off everybody's match. There's your America the Beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
backstage segment with they're playing with toys, which made no fucking
Justin Roberts comes out and he says, please welcome the host of WrestleMania 30, the immortal Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan comes down to the ring.
The pre-show.
And we had heard, it was the Usos.
They broke up the Real Americans in there, though. So
they
that's worth
did.
mentioning. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Well, they started.
And we'll talk about that more when we get to Monday Night Raw. But so they kicked it off. Hulk Hogan comes out, and we had heard beforehand, and we put it up on the websites, Steve Austin confirmed that he was going to be at WrestleMania with TMZ.
Yep.
The Rock arrived in town. We didn't know if The Rock was going to be there, and then we got photos of him in
Saturday,
town.
Yeah.
We knew on Saturday that Rock was going to be there.
We heard he was rehearsing something, and then we heard he was going to be involved in something special. Was the quote, and obviously it was very special. So
Hogan comes out and he says,
rehearsing though. Like he just did a promo. What do you rehearse?
Well, just his lines and things like that for the promo. So Hulk Hogan comes out and he says, it's great to be here at WrestleMania 30 in the Silver Dome. And then
he just keeps going.
He kept going, and he did it again. He did it a second time. He says, let me tell you something, brothers, right here in the Silver Dome. And then at that point, the second time he did it, I think they were going to let it slide the first time.
Yeah.
But the second time he did it, you could tell that he looked into like the first couple of rows, and you know that people are going, Superdome, dude, Superdome, what are you doing?
They started chanting, "You fucked up" at him.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Right.
I got it right there. Yeah, you fucked up chant breaks out when he says it the second time. Loud. Like, it was noticeable, and he could hear it, obviously.
And then finally he addressed it.
He registered his head. Yeah, finally. And it was actually awesome that he did that, because it made great fodder for Austin and Rock.
For Austin and Rock to come out.
They fucked with him big time.
Right. So, you know, the line, basically the cue for Austin was to come out where Hulk Hogan said, you know, at WrestleMania, very special things can happen, and then the glass shatters and Stone Cold, you know, comes out. Steve Austin comes out. He grabs the microphone and he says, normally I'd come out here and open up a can of whoop ass.
Normally you're here in the ring with me, it means you're getting your ass whooped.
How about the pop for Austin and Rock? I mean, the pop.
He got right in his face, too. They had a great stare down. And
It was awesome, man. So Austin cuts a great promo about WrestleMania being, you know, a show where these younger guys can come out and showcase their talents. And
another cool thing with Austin was the fans started chanting "What?"
Oh yeah.
So he says all the way back at WrestleMania, because he's like, I respect
WrestleMania 1.
You were all the way back at WrestleMania 1. What? WrestleMania 2. What? WrestleMania 3. WrestleMania 4. He went all the way up to like 9 or 10.
10. He went to 10.
And then all the rest of them. He said, you know.
It was that was a cool moment. So Austin says, "Listen, it's great to be here tonight. I'm gonna let these young guys come out, showcase their talents. You gonna do the what? Give me a what, dude?
Okay.
What?
WrestleMania 1. What? WrestleMania 2. What? WrestleMania 3. What? WrestleMania 4. What? I was looking for the Rock's theme song, because I was gonna say, and then, you know, but I can't. I don't think we have it.
We got the Hey Yo over there too. We should have done that.
Do we have it?
Scott Hall. See
that went through my head.
I'll tap on the right.
Hey Yo.
Yeah, that went through my head.
Yo.
I didn't think we had that. All right.
We got the Oh Yes up there too.
I didn't know we had that either. See, you got it better memorized.
I'm sorry.
Do we have the Rock's theme?
No, we don't have Rock. We've got a couple rock bits on there.
Just bring it, bitch!
So that leads us into the Rock comes out, right? Austin says it's going to be great to showcase the younger talents. They're going to showcase themselves tonight. And the Rock comes out, and he talks about making Rock babies and WrestleMania. How cool was it to see? I mean, listen, let's be honest. The biggest names in the history of pro wrestling.
Those are the three biggest names.
Those are
in the
three biggest names. I guess you could put The Undertaker up there as one of the guys.
No,
maybe Ric Flair. But they're not in the same league.
Those
the
guys
three
are
guys.
League.
Right. You've got The Rock, Austin, and Hogan up here. And then you've got like Ric Flair down here. Right below him, you've got Ric Flair and The Undertaker, people like that. But you've got the three biggest names,
money guys,
history,
all that stuff.
Money guys, everything.
They did them in chronological order, because if you noticed, Hogan was first, then Austin, then Rock, and that's
what do you
the
mean
order.
by that? Is it the order?
Who was the biggest star originally
Hogan.
in wrestling?
Yeah,
Hogan.
you're right.
And then who was the guy to be the biggest star? Austin. And after Austin, who was it? The Rock.
It was The Rock. You're right.
And then John Cena, I guess. But yeah. But either way, so Rock comes out, he does a fucking funny promo, he does his normal stuff, and they all close by doing their catchphrases.
Right.
I think Austin started by saying, Rock, because Rock at the end of his funny promos, if you smell what the Rock is cooking, then Austin comes back and says, and that's the bottom line.
Right, and then they drank a bunch of beer. And
then Hogan said, what you gonna do, brother?
How about Austin still able to catch the beers, dude?
Yeah.
He wasn't missing any of them beers that were being thrown in, right?
And they all chug along.
We talked about this, man. They had to kick it off with Triple H.
And in honor of Austin there at the fucking... at the end of the segment.
We talked about this on Saturday. They pretty much had to kick off the pay-per-view with Daniel Bryan and Triple H, right? And you knew what was going to happen here.
I mean, you weren't so sure, but...
What?
You said, I think, maybe...
to kick off the pay-per-view? Yeah. Well, we know that Daniel Bryan was going to win. I mean,
that was no doubt.
Right. But, so they kicked off the pay-per-view with this. Now, they made it intriguing by having Scott Armstrong came back and returned during the match, right? They were going to try to screw Daniel Bryan.
This was in the main event.
You're right.
So,
okay.
But, the first interesting thing about this match was Triple H gets the rock star entrance. Probably the most grand entrance of the evening.
Right.
Daniel Bryan's music plays, he comes down and says yes.
Right. Triple H did have a while. How about John Cena, too? John Cena gets an entrance every year.
Wyatt family entrance was badass.
Right?
Yeah.
And you were worried about that with the live performances.
I was wrong on all accounts when it came to live performances.
Yeah.
I think Red Theory sounded great.
Right.
Doing Orton's voices thing.
Yep.
I don't know the name of the band. I'm sorry to those guys.
With the Wyatt family, I don't know either.
The Wyatt family band, the chat might be able to help us out. But yeah, the Wyatt family band, when they played, that was fucking badass.
They were awesome.
And they were all like, some of the bands were wearing like sheet masks or different masks, and like it was really cool.
Triple H came out with the king or the whatever kind of mask that he was wearing.
Like the fucking Roman Empire.
Then he stood up and took it off. It was, listen, it was awesome. When Triple H came out to that, it was awesome. But it's Triple H, and of course it's WrestleMania, it's politics.
My favorite Triple H entrance was he took the sledgehammer and throws it through the glass, and the glass breaks, and then he walks out. Yeah, that was awesome.
So this was a good match, man. Triple H is still in great shape. God, I mean, the guy hasn't wrestled in what, months now. They're talking about
put him
doing
up there with Shawn Michaels as far as big match performers. When it's a big match situation on a big stage,
he always kills it.
He brings the goods.
He always kills it. They're talking about doing Evolution. They teased it last night, backstage segment on Raw. It was Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista.
Mark Crozer and the Rels. Does that sound right?
For the Wyatts, maybe, probably.
Whoever. Sorry.
But they did a backstage segment last night on Raw. Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton. Triple H said something along the lines of, when we all work together, or when we all work together, we're unstoppable. They're talking about doing Evolution against the Shield at Extreme
you're fast
Rules,
forwarding to Raw.
I know. So Dan O'Brien wound up getting the win. Triple H did hit a pedigree on him. Dan O'Brien kicked out.
I think at least one.
At least one. Dan O'Brien kicked out. So that was a cool moment.
And they did the beatdown after the match.
Right,
Triple H whooped the shit out of him after the match, because his arm, he was still selling the arm from when he handcuffed him on Raw and beat the fuck out of him.
Right.
He still had the arm all taped up, so after the match, he puts his arm around the post, whacks it with the chair. So the story
making it seem like
Daniel Bryan was Daniel Bryan had to overcome all this shit. Like
all
said,
these
later,
odds, and he still
later
did.
on we'll get into it with Scott Armstrong. All these different obstacles he had to get past. He had to win 2 matches in one night. He had the arm, the crooked ref, 2 guys, against one, really, and he overcome the odds, had his big thing. So.
Exactly.
And because either the opening segment,
they did a segment later in the show with Daniel Bryan, right in the trainer's room, and they showed him right.
But either because of the opening segment with Hogan, Rock, and Austin, or because of the Triple H Daniel Bryan match, it seemed like some other shit was rushed. This being the most prime example.
It was, man. The Shield against Kane and the New Age Outlaws. Can I tell you guys something? We're up here. What we're reading right now on the computer is Matt Boone's WrestleMania report.
I should have found.
This is unbelievable. This guy
it was 9,000
worked so fucking hard on WrestleMania and Raw last night. He types all this shit up, man, and does this. The WrestleMania report that you did was unbelievable.
Thank you.
Props, man. It's
10,000 words.
So long, dude.
Yeah,
we were just at the Triple H versus Dana Bryan, and the guy's scrolling for like 5 minutes down. I'm like, Jesus, bro, look at all this shit. What'd you have, like 10,000 words in there or something?
It was 9,300 words. Yeah.
Anyway, so
typed.
Yeah.
And I've got HTML in there while I'm doing the golden thing.
It's ridiculous, man.
Hey, listen. But
I'll pat you on the back.
I should have got
for
the show. I should have got a smaller report so
we had. So they did rush the Shield
very much
against.
So, yeah. And Billy Gunn got injured. That could have played a part in it.
That's true.
Because Road Dogg's been beat up too for a while, right?
Road Dogg's always been beat up.
But yeah, like recently he got like some kind of injury or something. I want to say.
Was it Road Dogg?
I could have sworn it was something with Road Dogg being fucked up a little bit. But either way, if he's fucked up, Billy Gunn gets seriously injured in the match. That really only leaves Kane. Can't really have a 6-man match with one guy on the one side of the ring.
What do you think about him doing the Shield versus the Wyatt family on main event tonight? I mean, it just aired. It's over now.
I thought the whole point.
Remember the match they had at the pay-per-view, though, dude? Where
and the follow-up on Raw. Well, that was Bray Roman, but everybody else came out. But I thought the whole point of putting big shit on main event was because they wanted to test out the network before Mania.
Right.
Mania's over now. They're still wasting big matches on main event. I guess they want main event to be a show that's worth seeing.
Well, they want network subscribers.
Nobody's subscribing for main event. I can understand if it was on TV. We need ratings.
I bet they get a couple people if they announce the Shield versus the Wyatt family.
Somebody's going to sign up to watch
I bet they get like 5 or 10 different people that say, I'm going to sign up.
No.
You don't think that...
No. If they haven't signed up
out of the millions of people that they have that watch Rivalry Week, maybe 5 people will
will
sign up to see that match.
0.
Oh, come on.
And I'll tell you why. Because anybody who would be interested in enough, you got to be a real diehard fan to be like, ooh, I'm going to sign up to watch the Wyatts and the Shield. If you're that diehard, you've already signed up. Sorry.
I think there's...
Long story short.
There's some stupid wrestling fans out there. No offense, but there's some
those stupid fans are the hardcore ones, and the hardcore ones would have already bought it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But either way, the Shield got the win there.
Shield got the win.
We'll cut it off there, yeah.
We'll cut it off there. We'll come back on the flip side. We're going to finish up WrestleMania and then talk Monday Night Raw from last night. Only going to take about a 5 or 10 minute break. Be taking your live phone calls too. If you guys want to call up in our numero dos, whatever's on your mind. We're going to get into Raw from last night. We'll bring back Rapid Fire next week, man. It's just, we're trying to get through. It's a WrestleMania show. We're trying to get through everything tonight. Got our predictions here as well. So we'll get into that.
I say you put the Rapid Fire post up just in case we have a couple minutes.
We're not going to have any minutes, dude. We haven't even started Raw. And we're not even halfway through WrestleMania.
If you want to ask questions, you got to call this week.
You got to call. You got to call.
Go to the chat room.
Or the chat.
I'll try and pull some.
We'll try to pull some out of the live chat room.
And how can they do these two things? The chat room is where? I don't even know.
WZROnline.com.
Motherfucking.com.
/chat. WZROnline.com/chat. And the live phone number to call us in our numero dos 518-712-3070.
Hello? Hello? Am I here?
You're listening to WZR TV Tuesdays.
Sure.
Matty Boone and Ryan Clark. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Hey, everybody knows the meat and potatoes of WZR TV Tuesdays. Yeah. You're looking at them.
But meat and potatoes ain't shit without gravy and steak sauce.
I love me some mashed potatoes. I love me some mashed potatoes.
Guy with mashed potatoes.
We have mashed potatoes and steak for dinner tonight.
I didn't touch any of the potatoes, just steak. I love steak though.
Sorry about your damn luck.
I can eat steak every day and beef jerkies.
Oh.
It's delicious.
Jerky. So we're back here for our numero dos.
This beef jerky.
Nobody cares about your beef jerky.
Nobody cares about your potatoes. She got me this beef jerky. It was this brand I've never had. It was so fucking good.
Yeah?
I want them so much every day.
Yeah?
I want to get more.
I'm sure you know a lot about jerkies.
Yeah, this comes from the guy who says, man, my wrist hurts fucking earlier.
It's my left wrist. Yeah. I've been typing too much, man. I jack off with my right hand. I'm a right-handed man, and I jack off with my right hand.
We're talking about that. I'm left-handed, but I jerk with my right hand.
Do you?
Figure that one out. Does anybody else? If you jerk off with the opposite hand,
really?
You should mention it in the chat.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Because the left hand's not
This is a bit graphic, but it kind of hooks to the right a little bit. So, right hand.
Oh man, get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Alright, here we go. We gotta get back into it.
Is that too much?
That was terrible. Never gonna get that out. Now everybody knows that. We're gonna be like, this motherfucker got a dick that hangs to the left.
Right.
Or goes to the right. Yeah. Jesus. Alright, here we go. We gotta get back into it. We're gonna finish up WrestleMania from Sunday night.
Chat room's cracking me up. They're reacting.
Alright, we're gonna get back into our WrestleMania 30 from this past Sunday night and Monday Night Raw from last night as well. We got a lot to do here in our numero dos. Just a quick reminder, I didn't know this. New Orleans and Lafayette, they're at the Cajun Dome tonight. And I'm good with, mountain time,
you're good with
central
geography.
time.
Yeah.
I'm very good with geography.
I suck with geography.
And I could have sworn that New Orleans and Lafayette and all down in New Orleans or Louisiana was on the East Coast. They are not. They're an hour behind us. They're Central Time. So
that bugs me. Juicy Juice in there in the chat. Can you read that?
Off right now, and people in the chat are what? People in the chat
are catching shit for making porn jokes. So somebody's in there yelling at people in the chat for making porn jokes.
Y'all can make jokes.
Joke about whatever you want. I mean, don't get racist.
Listen.
Shit,
if it turns to racism and everything, we don't. Honestly, to be completely honest with you guys, We don't care what
Guys,
you do.
Say whatever you want.
We don't care what you do.
We say whatever we want. We're going to tell you can't say something.
In the chat, we got a couple of mods in there, and we tell them, listen.
They do great work, the mods.
The mods do great work.
But really, there is no work other than fucking banning somebody who's spamming. That's literally the only job.
If somebody comes in there and spams a bunch of things, kick them out, boot them, ban them.
Other than that,
somebody gets racist, kick them out, boot them.
At least one.
But other than that, go in there and have some fun. Interact with each other. Have some fun on Tuesday nights, man. It's for you guys, man.
Same way we
don't hold back here, so you guys don't have to hold back in the chat. But if you're gonna spam and do all this other crazy shit,
I think of that censorship stuff, man. It always reminds me of when you
right to censor. Remember the theme?
We were talking about that the other day. You and Richard Gray or Ryan Gray? Who was the guy that used to co-host with you?
Richard.
When I quit. Okay, so Richard Gray. You guys had a rule at the time, because I would come on to do an MMA segment. I'd call in. You'd have me call in, because Brock was it was newsworthy. He's a wrestling fan. So I do the MMA segment. It was always, I cuss a lot. That's just how I talk.
Right.
And if you guys, the behind the scenes would have been so much more entertaining of the show, because you guys were so fucking serious on the air at that time. It was a whole different show. If you would go back and listen to that show,
it wasn't.
I know it was Richard Gray.
They used to put it. They've got a premium section on their website, and they wanted to use the show as part of their premium as content. So he had said, "Listen, I'll co-host, but we can't be cussing and we can't be having fun on here. This, that, and the other thing, because we're gonna put this on the premium section where we're gonna give news." That's how I feel, dude. If you come on here and you try to do a fake radio show and you're not your real self, it translates to
people can tell.
crap.
The same way when you do a promo in wrestling and it's scripted and you don't feel it, people can tell you don't feel it. You can see it in your eyes. But real quick, the point I was making was I would come on the air and purposely, because I knew you guys were very straight-laced, censored, no cussing, I would come on and I would go out of my way to say fuck as many times as I could. And if you could see this guy freaking out on
because you're an asshole,
he'd be like, dude, Gray's gonna fucking flip out, stop fucking cussing. And I'd be like, man, and it was like pointless cussing too. I'd be like, yo, that fucking fight was so fucking awesome, man. Brock fucking Lesnar's the fucking man. And I'm just saying fuck every other word, just on purpose.
Does that make you cool?
No.
Does that make you seem like, are you the cool kid that comes out, I'm gonna go on a Transist Radio and go fuck.
First of all, I started. It was my fucking show. I should be able to say whatever I want. I gave it to you because I trusted the keys of the kingdom to the guy that I think is the best worker in the business. Bottom line, I'm putting you over.
Thank you for putting me over. But trash me before that. All right, go on.
How's that trash?
Go on.
That wasn't trash. Yeah, no, I said I should be able to say whatever I want. But the bottom line was I needed to entertain. I quit the show because I wasn't into wrestling anymore. If you remember, this was the point where I transitioned into MMA. Blah blah blah. Long story short, I wasn't in wrestling anymore. So I didn't want to do the show anymore.
Long story short, yes.
So I didn't want to do the show anymore, so I gave you the show. But you still wanted me to come on because you guys didn't know MMA that well at the time. And I would come on and give you the the MMA stuff with Brock and all that. But I was so bored doing it that just to entertain myself, the only thing I could think of was, let me piss these fuckers off here and let's just get a rise out of them, and then it'll be fun.
I used to get prank calls in the morning.
Fun.
My father, when I lived with my father, when I was a teenager and I was living with my father, right? I was about 16, 17 years old, right? Still living at home with Dad out in Colorado, right? And we would get phone calls at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. My father would get so pissed off. He'd say, "Who the fuck is calling?" I said, "Dad, I can't stop him." I said, "Can you take the phone off the hook? Can you do something?" These guys would prank call.
It's me and Brian.
Hello. Oh, Mr. Clark.
Brian. Yeah, Brian Linehouse, the guy that owned. Can I say it? No, I shouldn't say it.
Guy that owned WrestleZone.com.
The guy that owned WrestleZone.com, the site that I ran for 10 years. That put the show. That was why the name of the show was WZR. But yeah. So we were just jerk offs. We're like 18.
There's a reason why WZROnline.com. You guys don't know the history.
There's a whole story there.
You don't know the history.
One day. Not today.
One day we'll tell the story. But the initials WZR stand for something.
Well, they know now. You can say it.
And we'll tell the full story. But the reason I opened WZROnline.com was a shot at. There was some when we parted ways with.
There were two guys that used to produce WZR for us. They were our little fucking fanboys.
When we parted ways with
I got them a job at the site, WrestleZone, and then I got fired, you got fired. And they took over, and they had a show, and so Yeah, that you can tell the rest.
we parted ways with them, and you know, I went out and I said, you know what, I am gonna open a fucking website. I am gonna build this son of a bitch from the ground up with zero fans.
You originally opened WZRRadio.com.
It was WZR Radio.
And I said
we are gonna take
WZR
this.
Online.
We are gonna take this thing with zero fans. I am gonna start it from scratch, and I'm gonna build it up. And I got it to 43,000 uniques yesterday.
Fuck yeah!
And I built an army.
Own numbers.
I built an army of fans based off WZR Radio. So
fucking awesome.
Anyways,
we got T-shirts and everything, man. Right here.
Right to you. Right to you.
How many have you sold this week?
About 15.
Yeah, it was about
20. 20? I
think it was like 18, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, we packaged 18.
Packaged. Yeah. Shipped them out, right? All right, here we go. Let's get back into WrestleMania. Get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Get there. Can I get a WrestleMania report on my screen?
Can I get a hey now?
You can get a hey now. Hey now.
Hey now.
So we had the legends backstage, man. God, it was like $1 Million Man. Ted DiBiase was back there.
There were a bunch of them.
Ron Simmons came in.
Three of them got
damn.
Right. There were a bunch of legends, but 3 of them got a feature role. Like, they would enter, and it would be like a big. They get lines, speaking lines. Those were Ricky Steamboat.
Yep.
$1 Million Man, like you said, Ted DiBiase.
Right.
And then Ron Simmons.
Ron Simmons got his damn thing.
It's pretty good, right?
Not bad.
I didn't even know I could do that.
Not bad at all.
Do we have a damn? I think that would be like one we have, right?
I don't think we do. No,
we don't. It's only one word.
I don't know. But anyways, listen, it was a corny segment, right? But it put the legends at WrestleMania 30. It's WrestleMania 30, so you gotta feature some legends.
We went right into a legendary match.
Oh God, a legendary bad match. This was probably the worst match on the show, in my opinion.
Divas.
The Divas
trash.
At least they kept it short, though.
They did keep it short, yeah. And they didn't do a bunch of entrances. That was the part I was dreading. I'm like, we're going to have to sit through 10 entrances of Divas. Right.
The Battle Royal, I mean, they had, first of all...
There was some cool stuff in it.
It was supposed to be 30 names, right?
Yeah.
And it wound up being 31.
Cesaro was not in it. That's what they said last night.
He wasn't in it. You're right.
Sorry, you're right. Yeah, because you said
they announced them a couple of weeks ago on Raw, and then they took them back out.
That's what I was telling you. Like, no, Cesaro was part of it. I said, no, he wasn't. But
Rusev wasn't in there, and Rusev,
he was supposed to be.
Right.
So RVD was talked about.
Rob Van Dam was supposed to be a surprise. They saved that for last night on.
Nobody saw Cesaro coming, obviously, because they didn't even know he was in it. But nobody picked that one.
There was a cool spot with Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston on the outside.
Kofi Kingston fucked that up. Nobody's acknowledging that.
Did he fuck it up?
He clearly fucked it up. He was supposed to land on the steps. You can see it if you watch it. He tries to land and then falls, but he makes sure his feet stays on it.
Okay.
So he was supposed to land upright, standing. Land on the bottom step.
What was that noise?
I kicked him.
Oh, was that what it
was? He was supposed to land. If you watch it, I guarantee if you watch it, you'll be able to tell this.
Supposed to land on the step.
On his feet, standing up.
Okay.
Upright, on the bottom step. But instead, he fucking stumbled, fell, but he left his feet on and pointed to him. Which almost, in a way, was cool.
I thought when he was on his back on the ground, I thought he was supposed to be there.
It looked at
but the feet didn't touch.
He did a great job saving it, but I promise you he was supposed to. You can tell by the way he landed. He was trying to land and then fucking fell over. And momentum took him over.
All right, no doubt.
Here we go again in the chat with this porn shit. What the fuck?
So that was a cool spot. Listen, if they're spamming them and they're doing constant porn shit, you got to kick them out. But if it's just a regular joke or something like that, then leave them alone. Let them go. You know, who cares? Let's see.
The big moment at the end.
The big moment, it came down to Big Show and Cesaro, right? And Cesaro was able to take out Big Show over the top.
It was the 27th anniversary of Hogan slamming Andre WrestleMania 3.
Right. Oh, you're right. Where you picked him up. Right.
So they had Cesaro, the strong guy, slam Big Show over the top, but it was much more impressive. Hogan's Andre slam was like
barely got him.
Cesaro picked him up like fucking
almost walked
over with him, held him there for a second so people could take pictures. Easily lifted him over the top rope and then slammed him. Like, that motherfucker is strong.
Have we not talked about that here on WZR, where people say that William Regal and Cesaro are two of the strongest guys?
I love that you acknowledge that. In the very early days, where
nobody
was fans of WZR, but I would always tell you, we would talk about, somehow it would always come up, the legit tough guys in wrestling, and I would always tell you, William Regal is supposedly this badass motherfucker.
Right.
He shot on Goldberg in a match once and like stretched him or something, put him in a headlock because he was being stiff with him.
Regal's supposed to be one of the toughest guys on the roster.
Finley, by the way. Those
Finley,
English motherfuckers are tough. But long story short, Cesaro supposedly like freakishly strong, especially for his look. He doesn't look like he looks strong, but not like crazy strong.
Right.
He's crazy strong.
He's a big boy.
He can do crazy Olympic style lifting like John Cena and all that. Mm-hmm. And supposedly he can do a handshake. He can fucking crush your hand with a handshake.
Right.
He's one of those guys. You hear guys that can take an apple, and you've seen it, and crush it.
Right.
Take a
Cesaro's one of them guys.
Crush him.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. I wouldn't doubt it.
He's a strong son of a bitch.
So Cesaro, I like the fact that they're doing. They gave him the big trophy. God, they went through all this work to make that trophy, and then we'll get to Raw here in a minute. But my God, all that work for the trophy, and then last night on Raw,
Yeah.
Trophy's gone.
I guess
right?
he's not carrying it around for the next year.
I guess not, right?
Although he still had the actual Andre piece and was hugging.
You were right. It was a much bigger trophy than I expected it to be.
Well, the actual Andre part was all we saw being painted.
Right.
Then they added it.
They added
all
this. Right.
And it was this top piece of it.
What'd you think of John Cena and Bray Wyatt, man?
Real quick, the Cesaro thing. He wins the Andre Battle Royal, and then we'll get into it later. But they have done a lot in the last 2 days to make that guy a star.
Bray Wyatt?
Cesaro.
Oh, no doubt. Absolutely.
They gave him the moment at WrestleMania, and the Andre Trophy, and they gave him Paul Heyman, and they split up the Real Americans, and they're giving him the push.
Mick Foley predicted that on Raw on Monday he was going to have a big breakout moment. Yeah. Sure enough.
I predicted he would be one of the next Paul Heyman guys. I wrote a column about it.
Paul Heyman teased that he was going to debut.
Yeah, you're right. That he's going to have a new Paul Heyman guy, a new client. I wrote 2 columns today. One was, I don't know the name of it.
About time you wrote a column.
I wrote 3. One yesterday, 2 today. Yesterday was 21-1. That's what it's called. 21-1 was the Undertaker streak being broken.
Right.
Spoiler alert. We'll get to that in a second. The other one was, I'm afraid I've got some bad news, was what I called it.
Oh, yeah?
And that was the network number.
Right.
Of 667. And then the third one was...
Did you get a lot of feedback to that or no?
That was the one I told you somebody read it and wrote like a response column to it.
Right. What was the feedback on that, though? Did people think that it was a good number?
A lot of people were negative. The angle that a lot of people agreed with me, because I got a lot of suck-ups that just like my stuff and they think I'm good and they say, oh, that's awesome, man.
When I put a post up on Facebook, real quick, man, I put a post up on Facebook yesterday saying that the number wasn't that good, and I got attacked by
the other half of the comments was basically, how dare you say...
Right.
Because I basically said they're kind of fucked. They're going to have to raise the cost of the subscription levels. They're going to have to lower the production cost. They don't, it's not what they thought it would be. They're like, how dare you say the network's not going to succeed already when it's only been 42 years? I was
trying to tell the people yesterday on Facebook that, listen, on paper when they first announced
that's an amazing number.
660,000. It looks great.
But you're not getting large surges like we talked about ever again.
All your large surges are over. So you got to look at that number and then think, well, fuck. Everybody's already ordered for WrestleMania. They've already ordered for the Surge when it first launched and WrestleMania.
The Mania.
Now what? You got to look at the long term.
Now what is WWE's creative? They need to come up with some shit that you have to have the network to see.
Got to order the network to make people sign.
It's on them to come up with cool stuff.
They've
raise the price of the fucking subscription, lower the cost, and it'll still make money with that number.
Can't stress that enough. It looks like a great number when they announced it yesterday. It looks like a great number, but. Look at the
But they're not going to get the number.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's a great number for now.
Right.
No question about it. It's an amazing number for right now.
Absolutely. But
it's not going to get that much bigger.
In 6 weeks, it's not going to grow much more. You're not. It's not like by the end of the year you're gonna have 1.3 million. I mean, if they do, God bless them.
How
man,
can
I'll
you
come
get,
on here and admit that?
Yeah, if you can get 700,000.
How are you gonna do that?
To sign up for the launch, the very first stuff, and WrestleMania? How are you gonna get that same amount of people?
That same amount of people to sign up for Payback, Extreme Rules,
or Raw Backstage Pass, or Legends House.
Not only that, but a lot of the content, people are going to be through most of the main shit, and
after a while, you kind of see the stuff you want to see,
and then you're out. Then
it's all up to what do you have for me today? New shit, and they're not going to be able to spend money on new shit.
Things like that. They're not going to be able to spend money on new shit
if
they're not getting
with
the
this number.
Right, exactly.
They're not making the money to spend the money right now.
That's what it is.
They're really the last big piece of the puzzle is unless international numbers blow us away, 1 million people, 1.5 million people sign up internationally. To add to the maybe 800,000 we'll have domestically by the end of the year.
Good luck.
Then you got something.
John Cena versus Bray Wyatt, bro, at WrestleMania.
We talked about
what did you think of the match?
I thought the Bray Wyatt family entrance was amazing. Cena's entrance was Cena's entrance, and
Cena came out with nothing this year, man. It was kind of
salute, run, and
how about the match itself?
Match itself was good.
Yeah,
not great, good. Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
You know, and they told the story at the end of the Cena is going to be a monster thing was the whole build up, and then Bray sacrifices himself, gives him a chair, drops on his knees, puts his hand out, and pretty much says, "Be the monster, fucking take my head off." Cena doesn't do it, but he still beats him anyway. He reverses his sister Abigail into an attitude adjustment. 1, 2, 3. No Hogan, no shit, just Cena wins.
Cena wins, and if there was ever a time to put over Bray Wyatt, that would have been it. Up next,
you gotta figure, did they job as a Shield when they did that 6-man? Did the Shield go over?
The Shield went over with the Wyatt family.
Yeah,
the Shield went over.
Chamber.
The Shield went over.
So
it doesn't.
The two big fucking matches they've had, they've dropped.
I know.
But they're still over like the son of a bitch. When we get to Raw, we'll talk about that.
Right. We're trying to get to Raw as quick as possible, guys. We had WWE Hall of Fame. They brought the Hall of Famers out on stage. This is where they checked out Daniel Bryan backstage.
And then here
The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. Got to spend a minute on this.
Oh Christ! Here we go.
So listen. The reports are early in the match, The Undertaker suffered some sort of concussion. We just put an article up on the website.
And a possible neck injury.
Possible neck injury. Yeah. Put an article up on the website that the concussion during the match happened early on.
And it wasn't a mild concussion, a slight concussion. It was
a severe concussion. The report that we put up just a couple hours ago, it's up on WZROnline.com. When Taker got backstage, what Paul Heyman said during his promo on Raw
from the hip.
Said that he collapsed backstage.
Yeah.
That was the case. When Taker walked behind the curtain, he went to the ground, not necessarily collapsed, but sat down. Okay, sat down on the ground, and they told him, lay down. He was complaining of dizziness and all this other stuff. A lot of people rushed to his side. They put him onto a stretcher. They put him in an ambulance, and they took him. Vince McMahon, Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar all went with him to the hospital. Vince McMahon was inside.
Vince McMahon leaves in the middle of WrestleMania.
Vince McMahon was inside the ambulance with Taker. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar followed in a car behind them as we put up.
Because if you think about it, what's he going to do?
Right.
He's going to sit in the waiting room while that's a fucking good guy to do that. That's a good guy.
So yeah, I know. During WrestleMania, he was concerned, man. He was, and there were a lot of people concerned.
And it's also a testament. And I haven't seen a lot of talk about this to how fucking tough Taker is.
Right.
Because they went. That was early in the match.
That was very early in the match. And then
they still did 3/4 of what they had planned, and it was you couldn't even tell he was hurt. Like,
you and I
the news afterwards. I'm like, no shit, he got hurt.
You and I were talking about it.
Wasn't like an obvious like, oh fuck.
Every year we have Undertaker matches at WrestleMania, and they tear the house down. And
that one wasn't tearing the house
down. You and I were both we were both saying, you know what, that wasn't that good of a match for the Undertaker, but. Now we know that
they relied, and we had a big discussion about this a couple weeks ago. They rely, especially in these Undertaker streak matches, on false finishes. Right. You said, they'll do 2-3 tombstones, choke slams, F5s, blah, 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 blah. And they rely so much on the fans biting on those false finishes.
Absolutely.
And the fucked up part is, nobody was biting because it was a given. Taker's winning.
Right.
And then he lost, which added to the shock when it happened. They weren't even buying the teases of the false finishes. So when it finally happened and it went the other way, the fans were like, They didn't even. They couldn't even process.
Everybody looked at. We put an article up on the website today basically the concussion early in the match where Taker had to, or Lesnar was forced to carry the match. So it was basically Brock Lesnar carrying a limp Undertaker through the match, as Taker doesn't remember much of the match at all. So after it was over, like we said, Taker collapsed. The shock on the, I mean, everybody.
Those pictures, that cross-eyed, that black guy, the cross-eyed black guy with the glasses, doing the face. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I do live audio, right, during WrestleMania. For all pay-per-views, we put the audio up. We can't do video because WWE would get in trouble.
Do audio either, but you do.
We're not supposed to do audio, but WWE would really screw us over with live video streams. But we can give you guys audio, and during the audio, I forgot that I had the audio playing, and I said, "Oh my god!" I said, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?"
I didn't hear you.
As the audio, and I'm sitting there thinking, "What?" I mean, they showed shots of the crowd, and it was basically one of those moments. It was basically one of those moments where you're standing there, and everybody looked over and was like,
"They was looking at each other like, did you see that? What happened? What's
you gotta be kidding!"
And everybody else was with the mouth dropped and the
that's
hands
what
on their heads.
I mean. Clearly, that's what they were going for, though.
Except for one black guy with glasses.
Right.
That crazy son of a bitch was cross-eyed with his fucking.
That's clearly the reaction that they were going. I mean, nobody saw that coming. I mean, let's be honest.
I didn't see it coming.
There's not a single one of you guys in the chat room that thought that Brock Lesnar had a chance. And I've gone on record as saying, and you tended to agree with me, that I didn't think the streak was ever going to end. I've always said that Taker is going to retire. He's always going to be the guy that was undefeated at WrestleMania.
Yes.
There's no, and not only that, but if the streak is going to end, let's say that the streak does end, you're going to put over a guy like a Bray Wyatt, like a Wade Barrett, somebody not. Wade Barrett's just an example, but somebody that's a new guy, somebody that's going to be there, Daniel Bryan, somebody like that, where it's going to mean something. The fact that they put it on a part-timer like Brock Lesnar,
who walked out on the company,
a part-timer who's not even there full-time, what does that do for Brock? Brock Lesnar is already an established. He's already an established guy that doesn't need something. You could make somebody's career by having them end the streak at WrestleMania.
But I'll argue,
what does that do?
Because of one man's fucking promo, Paul Heyman, and caller, we'll get to you in a second. Because of that promo on Raw the next night, which we'll get to when we talk about Raw, it didn't make Brock Lesnar anything more than he already was. But after Heyman's promo, I would argue that it did. I would argue that he went to a different level.
He went to a different level, but Brock didn't need it, dude.
No, he didn't need it.
There is a new guy. There is a new guy on the roster. Somebody that's going to be there for the next 10, 15 years. A young guy, 20 years old, 20-something years old, right? In his young 20s. That if he defeats the Undertaker streak, it should have been a match
that made somebody, not somebody that was already made getting boosted.
You're always going to be that guy that defeated the Undertaker streak. Brock Lesnar is already a name in the leagues of Triple H and Batista.
And he's got the longest list of things to brag about of anybody there. Nobody else can say they're a UFC and NCAA, the first or the youngest. Well, it used to be the youngest.
I would have thought anybody but Brock Lesnar to use it to put somebody over.
And I'll get into this in a second, but
Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up?
What's going on, guys?
How you doing, man?
All right. First off, two things. First, I agree with you on the Brock Lesnar Undertaker thing. It should have been Cesaro, Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, somebody in that category.
Right. Absolutely.
Roman Reigns is another really good one. Now, if he could have waited one more year, Roman Reigns would have been the perfect guy.
Why?
If you're gonna break the streak, yes. And real quick, caller, anything else?
Yeah, number two, first off, to all the CM Punk fans out there, get over it. He's gone. If he would have came back, he would have been back in the Raw, Chicago, WrestleMania, or last night.
Well, that's what I said.
Another really good point. Thanks for the call. That's another really good point.
I put it up on YouTube. I said, yo, what about CM Punk, man? He wasn't at Raw in Chicago. He wasn't at WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
The two things that come to my mind when he says that, A, we probably wouldn't have even brought up CM Punk's name tonight.
Probably not.
He didn't even cross. I was worried that I was going to expect him so much it was going to ruin the show for me.
Right.
I didn't even think of him the
Didn't
whole
even
time.
think of
I
him?
was so into the things they were doing that it didn't even cross my mind. Oh, I got this big point to make. I'm never going to get to it.
No, get to it. Keep going.
We'll get to you in a second. And but the other thing was, I think now people can rest assured he's gone.
He's gone.
For now.
He's gone.
If he didn't come back for Chicago
on,
Raw or WrestleMania, he's gone.
He's done. He's not. And if people still think it's a work, whatnot. I mean, listen. He may eventually return. We just put up a video interview with Paul Heyman.
I guarantee eventually.
Paul Heyman.
Back.
We just put up a video interview before we came live here tonight. Wow, calls are flowing in. We basically saying that Paul Heyman said that CM Punk walking out, leaving WWE was inevitable. Yeah. So it had been building up, like we said.
We knew that. When we thought when his deal expired, he was leaving.
It built up for so long, and finally enough was enough, and he said, "Fuck it, I'm out." Caller, you're live.
Okay.
Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up?
Yeah. I know some people don't. It's not a popular decision with some people, but no matter what you think of it, that was a great moment. The Undertaker streak inning.
You're never gonna forget that moment, bro. You're never gonna forget that Brock Lesnar.
I'll never forget the reaction from the crowd.
Oh, it was awesome.
It was the most surreal, shocking, holy shit that just happened kind of thing. Yeah. So in that respect, it was a big, enormous moment.
Right. There's no doubt about that, dude. It was an awesome moment that people were
you really felt something in the pit of your stomach for that one. That was wrestling at its finest.
Right. They were left in shock, man, and that's what WWE wanted. Clearly, that's the reaction.
Can make you feel.
That's the reaction that WWE wanted. Clearly, so I mean that's a good thing in that aspect. But
wrong guy.
I mean, as far as who was the guy to defeat the streak? I mean, let's say that.
He had to win it anyway.
But wait a minute.
He to be the logical #1 contender.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Let's say he may be the number one contender. He may be the #1 contender, bro. But Brock Lesnar is already an established star, right? Let's say that Cesaro was the guy at WrestleMania 30 to end the Undertaker streak, right? Going in, nobody thought that. Cesaro was going to be able to defeat Taker. Taker's streak's going to continue. The same reaction for Cesaro or Roman Reigns or somebody like that. Anybody that beats Taker, that reaction is going to happen. So the fact that Brock Lesnar, not only that, but listen, Brock Lesnar, the reason that they had Cesaro join Paul Heyman last night, they had Paul Heyman cut a heel promo to open Raw. Brock Lesnar is going to be taking time off in the coming months, man. So Brock Lesnar ends the Undertaker streak, then goes and takes time off. Now it looks like Paul Heyman is going to be a babyface with Cesaro. And then when Brock Lesnar returns, if Brock's off TV, if Brock is off TV, if Brock leaves, okay, and is off TV.
He is, which I got so many things to say, but I'm letting you rant, the callers, but go ahead. If Brock's off TV.
If Brock's off TV, then Heyman can be a babyface with Cesaro. Now, when Brock Lesnar returns in 3-4 months from now, Brock can either do one of two things. He can return as a babyface, or...
No, he can't.
Sure he can.
People are going to hate him for a long time for breaking the streak.
Listen, they can change a gimmick. You could turn John Cena heel. You can turn John Cena. You could turn any guy babyface or heel. They've done it in the past, dude. Guys,
is it possible? Yes, but they'd be retarded to go against the grain.
Right.
People want to hate him, and they just did that promo last night to ensure that he's despised. He's nanny boo-boo. I broke your fucking streak.
Let's say that Brock Lesnar is gone for 3 or 4 months, man. Paul Heyman can be a baby face for 3 or 4 months with Cesaro. Then, in 3 or 4 months from now, when Brock Lesnar is ready to come back, Cesaro can dump Cesaro, or Heyman can dump Cesaro and say screw it, and go back to Lesnar, his main guy.
I got 2 things I got to get off my chest, and then caller, we'll get to you. 2 things. Now that you bring that up, and I wrote about this in the column. The column was called "Do People Really Understand?" I forget the column. It was basically, "Do you really understand how good Paul Heyman is?" And in the column, I noted he's going to be the first manager right now that I can think of that's going to be a heel and a face. When the last night on Raw is a perfect example. Can you ever remember a time a guy was hated fucking passionately in one segment, and then an hour later, fucking loved and worshipped by everybody? He's going to be both. When he's with Lesnar, they hate him because they hate Lesnar. When he's with Cesaro, they love him because they love Cesaro. He's going to be in a very unique position that's never really been done before.
I don't think
Part
he is.
2, I guarantee you he is. Part 2 is the Lesnar thing. And now there's like a split to it because you just brought up, and it's a great point, and then we really got to get to these callers because they are flying in. if he's clearly not doing Extreme Rules, or they would have started something last night. I was waiting for somebody to bum rush that segment.
Brock's off TV.
So they have him end the streak, and
then
then he
take him
goes
off
away
TV.
for 3 months. People are
Why
going
do
to
you
forget.
think what I'm
He's
trying-
gonna not be
what I'm
relevant
trying
in
to
people's
tell
minds
you-
when he does come back.
What I'm trying to tell you is to your
You got to
first
capitalize on that.
to your first point, bro. You're saying that Paul Heyman's going to be a babyface and a heel.
Yeah.
He's going to manage a
Depending
heel.
on who he's with.
Brock Lesnar is off TV.
Yeah.
That takes the Paul Heyman heel aspect. Without Brock
Yes,
Lesnar,
yes,
that's
yes.
gone.
Yeah.
So Paul Heyman is a babyface.
I'm saying when
with
Lesnar's around.
Cesaro. So when Lesnar comes back, then Cesaro may already be, 3 or 4 months from now. Cesaro can probably go off on his own. Heyman, just like Heyman did with Curtis Axel and everybody else. Screw you. I don't need anything to do with you. Cesaro. Listen. Heyman will be with Cesaro for the next 3 or 4 months. They will get Cesaro over as this mega name, this big star, by using Paul Heyman, similar to what they did with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar won't be here.
Well, he was already over, but yeah.
Right, he was already over. When Brock Lesnar returns, Heyman goes right back to Brock. Cesaro goes off on his own. And in the last 3 or 4 months, Cesaro is built up with the help of Heyman as a top babyface. Lesnar's not here. So you got Heyman and Cesaro, top babyface, build them up. Lesnar comes back, Heyman dumps him, and goes back to fucking
and you got
Lesnar.
Cesaro Lesnar.
It works
I'm
out.
not disagreeing with that, but they're not turning Lesnar face.
No, they don't.
When he comes back, if he's representing both, which he will be at first, he'll be a heel at one point, a babyface at the other,
right.
Unless they do Cesaro heel turn, because initially, yes, he's going to do, it looks like they're doing Cesaro and Heyman against Swagger and Coulter.
Right.
So in that scenario, obviously Cesaro is the babyface,
right.
and Paul Heyman
Absolutely.
is the babyface.
Right.
But when they get past that, because of Heyman, he might fucking make Cesaro into a heel. You never know.
Does that make sense?
Or it could be this unique thing.
For a guy.
It could be this unique thing where when Heyman talks, boo, but when Cesaro wrestles, yay.
Right.
Could be.
Or
I'll skip my other point. It was one I really wanted to say,
but to have Brock Lesnar defeat the streak and then cut that promo last night on Raw,
and then go away,
after defeating the streak.
Unbelievable decision.
Crazy.
Wow.
Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up?
Ryan Clark, Matt Boone.
Yes, sir.
Hey, the greatest reporters in the history of professional wrestling.
He's getting the promo.
This is the Juicy Justinator from the chat, and I got a juicy question.
I love this guy. Go ahead.
All right, in my mind, there were 2 opportunities for Cena to turn heel. You got The Rock, WrestleMania main event, didn't take it. It could have been The Undertaker ending the streak with a total screw job. Didn't take it. So my question to you, brothers, is what can they do to top that, to make an epic heel turn for Cena? It's got to come after the reaction from last night.
Well, let me tell you something, brother! No.
That's a good question. I mean, how can they... I don't think they're going to turn him heel ever. I don't think it's ever happening. But I didn't think the streak was ever going to end either. And that's to my point real quick. That was the point I've been holding on. You said, I never thought it was going to end. Matt, you agree with me. You never thought it was going to end. I can't say I never thought it was going to end, because for a long time, I would argue you and anybody else, and I would say Taker's a traditionalist. He's going to insist that he take that big thing he built up and give it to
somebody over
on the way out.
He's
just an old school kind of guy. Old school's not just a spot where he walks the top rope. That's how he is. He's going to want to give that to somebody. Did he give it to the right guy? Fuck no. We both agree on that. But I'll admit full well that I gave up on that mindset after a couple of more years went by. I thought he said he had something else, but okay.
Bang bang, keep.
I gave up on that mindset a couple of years ago. I think after the first Shawn one, I was like, nah, this thing is too fucking epic at this point. They'd be retarded to end it, and I don't think they let him end it, even if he wants to. We were wrong.
All right, so he's talking about a Cena heel turn. Is the
yeah? I don't think they ever do it, so I don't know.
I think Cena's always going to take that. I mean,
at
least for right now, he's always going to take that attitude as you can love me or you can hate me, and I think they're going to run with that for a while. People are going to cheer him. People are going to boo him.
He's right against the Rock at the wrestling. That would have been the perfect.
That would have been the perfect opportunity to turn him heel. Real quick, if you guys are calling in, keep calling back. We've only got one open phone line, so just keep calling me the live number. It's 518-712-3070. We're going to try to take as many of your calls as possible. We're going to do high points and low points of Monday Night Raw. We're not going to go through the show from top to bottom, but there is a lot that we got to talk about from Monday Night Raw. So if you're calling in and you can't get through, keep calling back. 518-712-3070. Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up?
Hey guys, it's John Morgan.
What's up?
John Morgan, what's up, brother?
Hey, I had a question for you guys. I posted an article about it the day after the streak ended. You guys had said before, a few months ago, that Daniel Bryan was requested by The Undertaker to be his WrestleMania opponent this year, but he didn't get that request granted.
Right.
Do you think that's because he knew he was going to end the streak and he wanted to put over Daniel Bryan by giving him that rub?
That's a fucking great point. If he was requesting Daniel Bryan, I'm assuming he's retiring after this.
I think so.
He's not going to come back and go for 21 or 22 and 1.
The way they played it up at WrestleMania, they acted like
he got injured again. He's getting injured every time he wrestles. He's got to know that. I think yes, he knew all along. Thanks, John. We got to let you go. We got too many callers. But no, and check out John Morgan at eWrestlingNews.com. He's been doing some great columns.
Great columns.
And he did mention, and he's right. He probably knew all along, I'm retiring after this one. So who should I give it to? Let me give it to Daniel Bryan. He's the fucking guy right now. He's young. He's going to carry the company.
Absolutely.
And they gave him Brock instead. So, all right, I'm retiring, and I'm insisting.
This is it.
I'm insisting on giving it to somebody if I'm fucking forced to work with Brock. Or,
that may be it. That may be it. Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mark.
How you doing, man?
Yo, long-time viewer, first-time caller. Had to call in. Went to WrestleMania 30. And,
you were there?
You know, yeah, I was there.
Cool. Were you at Raw last night?
Nah, I'm from California, man. We flew out, we went in, and we checked out New Orleans for a few days, and we did the show. And it was an awesome show. There's a few things that were just really bizarre about the show. I don't know if you guys care to chat about that or not. But
let me ask you, dude. How were the crowd reactions for I've always wanted to be there, like 70,000, 80,000 people, like when Austin's music hits or the Rock music hits. You know what I mean? And they come out. How was was it like deafening or?
Yeah, Austin still got it when it comes to the crowd. They popped huge. They popped big for him and for Rocky, really big.
What would you say the best reaction of the night was?
Excuse me?
The best reaction of the night, what would you say it was?
It depends what you want to consider best. Everybody lost their shit when Taker's streak got broken. I took pictures of people's face.
Like the loudest. What was the most noise?
What about the pop for when Daniel Bryan in the main event? Because just watching it live, man,
the Wyatt seemed real over too. Like a lot of different things seemed over. Like
it sounded like the pop, dude, for the main event when Daniel Bryan got the 1, 2, 3 and won the title. It sounded like that was the pop of the night. Am I wrong?
Nah, you're right. I've been to 3 WrestleManias. I've been to WrestleMania 12, 21, and now 30.
12.
And Daniel Bryan's pop was up there. I was there when Michaels and Hart had the Iron Man match.
Yeah.
Bryan's pop was up there with that.
Wow. No doubt.
Yeah, the crowd went nuts. The confetti fell. And it was funny, as a friend of mine pointed out to me, said, hey, he's not even selling his shoulder injury anymore. He's just doing the yes thing going crazy. You know what I mean? Like, he stopped selling his injury.
All of a sudden his shoulder fell fine. Yeah. Well, adrenaline will do that for you. So
he starts going nuts. But, it was just really it was a good show. One thing that I haven't seen anyone touch on, and or you guys might have did this earlier, I just got on the show a little late, but everyone's talking about the streak to streak. You know how the Divas division isn't really moving much these days? Whoever booked that just shitted on the Divas match. Whoever booked the Taker lose, the way they booked that.
Well, you know what it is, dude. I mean, you're gonna have that filler match in between, right? Where you're gonna have
that.
I mean, you can't go right in. You can't go right in from the Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. You've got to have kind of like a filler match before the main event.
Like he said,
like this, no one even realized that the Divas were in the ring.
Yeah, no, I know. And like you say, because that just happened, and they're gonna shit on whatever's next. If you have to shit on something, that's the only match you can really sacrifice, and we know the crowd's gonna fucking still be, their hearts and minds are still with Taker laying on his back. If we gotta shit on a match, unfortunately, I'm sorry, ladies.
And think about it.
We'll have Cameron lose her top, so we got an angle for Total Divas, and we're good to go.
WrestleMania 29 too. They did. Remember they had the Divas match was canceled, right? They canceled the Divas match, so
and that's what I'm guessing. Going to cancel the Divas match. Nobody cares about it anyways.
Yeah,
but
Anything else?
The big for the night, to say like an up and comer was Cesaro.
Cesaro, yeah, no doubt, and especially last night on Raw too. What they did with Raw last night, yeah. All right, thanks for the call, dude. We have so many calls.
Sorry if we're getting short with you guys, but yeah, we got
try to keep it to 1 or 2 questions, man. There's 3 or 4 calls coming in at one time. Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up? You're live on WZR TV. What's up? 3, 2, 1. Nope, he gave up. All right, Monday Night Raw. Pull up the
finish.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, the Divas had their match. Long story short, AJ retained. This is where the predictions got interesting because I fucking was gonna go with AJ. I sat here.
I know you were. Man.
And I even said, just to play the odds, because if you're wrong, I'll be wrong. Let's just be wrong on the same one, because I know I'm getting Cena over Wyatt for you. That's exactly why I won.
I know. That's it, too. Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up? Excellent. All right. If you guys want to call up live, it's 518-712-3070. Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Matt? What's going on, Ryan?
What's up,
man? How you doing, man?
Hey, good. Hey, just one quick thing. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts. I know you haven't got to Raw yet, but I don't know about you guys, but how fucking cool was it to see Paige come out and win the title? Like, she got a huge pop. Like,
you know what? I was going to talk about that. I was going to talk about that, man. As soon as her theme music hit last night on
I didn't know who it was.
No, but as soon as her theme music hit, everybody popped, man. She got the biggest pop, and it may have been, I mean, everybody in the arena, they see on the Titantron Paige, her name. So it may have popped up and it said Paige, and then the theme music hit, something like that. But she got a huge pop last night on Raw.
It was right after AJ said, "I'm the best diva in the world."
Right.
Like CM Punk says, "I'm the best in the world." So she says that, and then bam, Paige comes out, and everybody explodes.
How fitting is that? AJ Lee that I'm the best diva in the world.
Clearly on purpose, too. And everybody, as soon as she said it, everybody started chanting CM Punk. So they were with it.
Everybody knew.
But I thought it was amazing. To the caller's point, he's right. It was amazing how over this unknown person who's debuting.
Right.
It shows that chick got over in NXT.
Paige
they love her.
is pop.
I don't even know her. I don't watch NXT.
No. Paige with the IWC, man, with the internet fan base, she is over big time. People
I know. I remember when
Paige.
she won the NXT Divas title. It was this big story that my boss said, "You got to cover, get this picture up. We got this exclusive photo of Triple H raising her hand with the belt." Who the fuck is Paige? Okay, I'll do it.
The IWC loves Paige.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, dude. I appreciate it. We have lots of live phone calls. We're going to go a little bit long tonight for you guys tonight because we still got to talk about Monday Night Raw from last night. We'll just do the high points and the low points from last night. Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up?
Caller, you there?
I think they have the stream playing in the background. If you guys are calling live, turn your speakers down because when you get through, you're going to be a little bit behind. You're going to be, a minute or two behind where we are. So, all right, WrestleMania.
Last chance. Look at one more chance. Caller, are you there?
Who's out? For WrestleMania, they did another Legend segment. It was Roddy Piper was backstage.
Well, it was just Hogan and Mean Gene at first, and then in walks Piper and somebody with this weird mustache, and we don't know who it is at first, and then you eventually start to realize, that's Paul Orndorff. They're telling the story of WrestleMania 1. Long story short, they start getting ready to fight. Mr. T comes in to back up Hogan, and they all bury the hatchet and shake hands, and the best part was Piper begrudgingly.
Piper didn't want to do it.
Piper overacting like a son of a bitch.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. Not only that, but they introduced Bruno Sammartino, Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes. They were they were all in the crowd as well. Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up? No Ric Flair.
Caller, you there? This is the same guy.
3, 2, 1. All right, you're out. All right, and then the main event, it was Randy Orton, Dave Bautista, and Daniel Bryan for the WWE World Heavyweight title. This was a great match.
You want to give one more chance? Save her.
No, screw him, dude.
Okay.
Stop with the phone calls.
Okay, yeah, let's get the roll.
Daniel Bryan wound up winning the WWE World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, Armstrong. We ran it down earlier. They had all the obstacles. He overcame it. Got his big moment. Yes.
Listen, it was predictable.
And it ended the way it should.
You knew that Daniel Bryan was going to defeat Triple H to go on to the main event. We knew it was going to happen. It was predictable, but it was the only thing that they could have done that would have kept the crowd happy. And not only that, but as soon as The Undertaker, as soon as Taker's streak had ended,
you can't do both.
You knew that if Taker's streak just ended, you know damn well that Daniel Bryan is winning the title, because they ain't going to do two things back to back where Daniel Bryan doesn't win the title. They could have put anywhere on the card.
Taker. Those fans, if those two things happen in the same night, they're rioting. We're getting 1970s, 1980s. Shit's going down in the building. In the parking lot,
when Taker's streak was over, you knew that, all right, Daniel Bryan, they're sending the crowd home happy with a Daniel Bryan WWE title win.
Forgive us for Taker, here you go.
They did a lot of false finishes with the referee, like you said, and everything else, but it was a great main event. And listen,
pretty good.
WrestleMania 30 was a really good pay-per-view. I mean,
it was one of the best WrestleManias.
The opening of WrestleMania 30,
and I don't say that lightly.
The opening of WrestleMania 30 with Rock, Hogan, and Austin was probably one of the best opening segments to any WrestleMania. Out of all 30 WrestleManias, to have Rock, Austin, and Hogan in the ring, the matches were good. The only matches that I didn't like were the Divas match, and the Divas match, like the caller said earlier, kind of got lost in the shuffle as Taker had just
that match was getting lost in the shuffle anyway. Nobody
right.
They didn't do anything to build up.
Then you come off Taker's streak ending, and it's like, whoa, the Divas aren't even really here. We're still thinking about Taker as the Divas are and
they're still booing.
I didn't like the Battle Royal. I didn't like the Battle Royal.
I liked it for what it was.
Yeah, and I thought
some spots.
Shield against Kane and the New Age Outlaws. That was very short.
That could have been great.
Kept it real short. Caller, you're live on WZR TV. What's up? Quick.
Last chance. Caller, are you there?
You gotta stop taking it, man.
It's the same guy, buddy. Called over and over. I'm like, he's probably like, all right, I got it this time. So now, fuck him.
He's done.
He was the only guy that kept trying.
Triple H, Stephanie came out the ringside during the main event, and that was that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going a little bit of extra time tonight. WWE SmackDown, like we said, it's being taped tonight in Lafayette, Louisiana, at the Cajun Dome.
Which is 1 hour behind.
But we do have some live spoilers. Load up the email here.
The email?
You got them in your email.
Oh, you got a guy sending you stuff?
Right.
Is this your email right here? Okay, here it is. All right.
You got the passwords? Yeah, you're good.
You're logged in on here still.
All right, no doubt. So WWE SmackDown spoilers. All right. The dark match we had Sheamus defeated Titus O'Neil. Two dark matches. Sheamus defeated Titus O'Neil.
This was prior to main event.
Goldust, Cody Rhodes, and Mark Henry defeated 3MB. For the WWE SmackDown taping on Friday.
Turn your speakers down if you don't want to get spoiled. We'll give you the thumbs up sign when we're done.
John Cena appears on SmackDown, comes out and basically said, like Triple H said a couple of weeks ago, there's a new era in WWE. He said it's called the measuring stick.
No, he's the measuring stick.
He's the measuring stick. Says anyone who wants to be somebody has to go through him now. Says the Wyatt family, or the Wyatt family pops up on the big screen. And says that they talk about they can't stop smiling, and that they'll have to go to new extremes to bring the monsters out of Cena. So it's basically John Cena cuts a promo. There's a new era.
They're keeping it going.
They're keeping it going. So it looks like they're gonna do John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Extreme Rules a rematch.
What is this when I do this?
That's the theme song for the Wyatts.
That's when the Wyatts cut in.
Yeah.
I never know what to call that part on the Raw play-by-play. I always say the Wyatt family cut-in happens.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania. The last two guys were Cesaro and the Big Show.
Enough, wasn't Big Show? Oh no, he wasn't. I thought
they did a rematch. Not a rematch, but the last two guys that were in the Andre Battle Royal, they had Cesaro defeated the Big Show by disqualification. So we had that. We had Ryback and Curtis Axel defeated the Los Matadores, and that's where we are at on WWE SmackDown from this Friday
night.
Cesaro
got mixed reactions.
Did he?
Because of Heyman. So yeah, some boos, some cheers. So it's
okay.
It's gonna be interesting to see. And they're calling him the King of Swing now. Heyman is.
Swagger came out. The DQ finish was.
And they said that
Swagger came out.
And the Cesaro Big Show finish afterwards, after the DQ, he put that big fucker up and hit him with the neutralizer.
Did he really?
Which is like a fucking.
Really? So he put him up again on SmackDown, huh?
Strong son of a bitch.
Wow.
Man. But yeah, and then Ryback's old Los Matadores, like you said, kind of like a half version of the pre-show match.
Right, exactly.
Right, so there's that, and then they get to Raw.
All right, turn the speakers back up.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of Raw, and I want to play the audio here for everybody.
Yes, sir.
Is when the fans, and my boss who was there, he was at everything, Hall of Fame Mania Raw. He tells me on Facebook, I'm doing play-by-play, he says, because I didn't hear it on TV, I heard them chant, they were singing.
I'm glad you got this.
They were singing.
Hell yeah.
They were singing during the Cena Wyatt match.
Right.
They were singing, he's got the whole world in his hands, because that's what Wyatt's been singing in his promos leading up to the match. But another unique thing they just organically, spontaneously did was they started chanting John Cena sucks to the
theme song of John Cena.
Of John Cena's theme song.
So you know how it goes do 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 do. It was John Cena sucks.
Yeah,
John Cena sucks.
Exactly.
We're gonna play it for you right now, man. Check this out, guys.
So that's what happened at Raw right there.
It was awesome, man.
Wind it back for you, give it to you one more time because it's too fucking classic.
It is great.
It's
that
epic.
Is awesome.
I hate that faggy term, epic, everybody says.
Faggy term.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shit, we're here. But yeah, I'm drunk. All right, but yeah. I love this.
One more time. One more time.
This is truly epic. And this is after his theme song was already playing, so this was just...
That is awesome.
Dead silence in the middle of the match, out of nowhere, they just start chanting, John Cena sucks!
In the middle of the match, John Cena sucks.
I could see if it was while his theme was playing, because remember how Kurt Angle had the...
Do you know how
Kurt Angle had...
Listen.
And the fans would start saying, oh, this is a perfect time to go, you suck!
Right.
You suck!
Do you know how hard it is to get a chant started in an arena, number one?
A couple of
not only that,
and everybody spread.
Everybody started
on
singing.
cue in
It is hard enough to get a chant going in an arena at a WWE live event, let alone get a chant.
If I hear that, I'm picking up on it too.
Where they're
that's
singing
too cool.
along. That was awesome.
If you hear that, like 10 rows over,
Raw report up, please.
It is right there. If you hear that 10 rows over, do you not fucking say, "Oh, I got to do that"?
Awesome.
Even if you don't want to chant, you're chanting that.
Daniel Bryan opened up Monday Night Raw from last night. Cut a promo. Basically said it was a cool line where he said, "Damn, I didn't realize how heavy these WWE titles
how hard it was
were.
going to be to do the
every time I got to do the yes chant." But he basically thanked you guys, all of you.
He said in a promo, or not promo. He said in an interview while you light your cigarette that they're each 25 pounds, and he said after working 2 matches and this and that last night's WrestleMania, Sunday night's WrestleMania, he was so exhausted that he didn't even realize afterwards doing the thing because he knew he was supposed to do a big yes thing to end the show with the titles.
He didn't realize how tired
he was going to be, how heavy the belts were, and the fact that he had to do this over and over and over. He was like, man, that was hard to do. And then he referenced that, like you said, on Raw in the promo.
On Raw last night. Basically thanked the fans. That feud, Triple H.
This was the first indication that the crowd was going to be nuts.
They were crazy.
And the number one story to come out of last night's Raw was the crowd, in my opinion. That crowd was insane.
But you're always going to have that the night. Well, Chicago.
That was,
dude.
Chicago's nuts. I don't think I've ever seen anything like last night.
Are you serious?
I've seen loud crowds. I've seen crazy crowds. I don't think I've seen for 3 straight hours. They did not sit down once.
Bro.
They were up. I thought they're going to run out of energy.
Bro.
But a lot of these people were at Mania 2 and the Hall of Fame. They got to be fucking spent by now. They lasted 3 straight hours. 4 if you include superstars and the after Raw shit. They fucking stayed alive and fucking more than alive. Insane energy.
A Chicago crowd will put this crowd to To shame.
If post-WrestleMania Raw was in Chicago, they would.
They do it on a normal
They
Raw.
would. No, you put up any Raw against that Raw, at best it's equal. It's not bigger or better.
Chicago,
that was the nuttiest crowd.
The Chicago that we had just a couple of months ago
was nuts.
They were better than that crowd last night. Last night's crowd was awesome. I'm not saying that they weren't awesome. Ask the chat room.
At best,
is
Chicago equal
versus
not better. Equal, I'll give you. They were just as nuts.
They were equal,
but they weren't. You're like saying like they're
no,
fucking more nutty than New Orleans.
Last night's crowd was amazing.
Yeah.
They were awesome last night. I love a crowd like that,
That's
dude.
as good and loud as a crowd can get.
Absolutely, but Chicago's
in
right there.
Spots, yes.
Chicago's right there with
In spots, there's plenty of towns where crowds will go nuts. They're loud for fucking shit throwaway matches. They're loud for fucking commercial breaks. They did not ever exhaust.
New York City, Madison Square Garden's right there with them, dude. Chicago, Madison Square Garden. Those are your two main crowds.
And Philly,
Philly
Canada,
as well.
Anywhere in
Philly's
Canada.
great. Canada, Canadian crowds are great. I don't think that was one of the best Raw crowds ever. It was a great crowd last night.
You don't think that was one of the best Raw crowds ever?
I'd say there's been times every time they go to
Chicago.
I'd say they go to Chicago.
Here, can we read some comments from
they
the
go
chat
to Canada.
room?
I'm not saying it was a great crowd.
You asked me to bring up the chat. Winner's Lair says what? I'm with Boone. John Morgan says I gotta agree with Boone. Ron Jeet, agree with Boone. Rygal, I'm with Boone. We scroll up. Jaskin, I'm with Boone.
Right. You're 24.
Boone. Everybody.
You're 24 hours away from seeing it happen.
Yeah.
I bet that half of these people in the chat room don't even remember how good the Chicago crowd was just a couple of months ago, or the New York City crowds before that, or last year's WrestleMania when they were doing the Fandango chants, dude. It was awesome, dude. There are crowds out there.
I'm agreeing that there's been crowds just as loud, just as nutty, and recently in Chicago. I'd put that in the same category, but you can't say anything was clearly bigger, better, or louder than last night. And you said you just said that's not one of the best crowds of all time. That was one of the best.
All time?
Of all time.
Of all time? I don't know about all time.
Of all time.
It was
you can't get any louder and nuttier than that. That's as loud as a fucking crowd can be.
It was up there with Chicago crowds. I think last year's WrestleMania, the post-WrestleMania show
was
last
nuts,
year,
just like last night.
I think that was the best
Money in the
crowd
Bank in 2011 when Punk cut the pipe bomb.
CM Punk a couple of months ago.
A couple months ago, but even more so, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view right after Punk cut the pipe bomb and did the Cena match in the main event for the title, finally won the title.
Right.
That crowd was insane.
Every
once in a while, I'll go back on YouTube and I'll watch the entrances.
I'll go top 10.
They go nuts for Punk, and I've never heard more boos in my life than when Cena's music hit. 2011 Money in the Bank. Boo! They fucking went nuts.
Last year's crowd, last year's post-WrestleMania crowd was probably the best crowd I've ever seen. I would say last night. Wait a minute. Let me finish. I would say last night was one of the top 10 crowds.
Oh, now it's one of the top 10.
I'm not going to put it of all time. I'm not going to say top 5.
You're not going to. I didn't say any number 3, 5, 10. I said it's one of the loudest crowds of all time.
It was a great crowd. It's up there with Chicago, New York, Philly. It was. I'd put it in the top 10, but I'm not going to go top 5. I mean, there's been crowds.
Off the top of my head, I can't. I mean, I've watched wrestling for 30 years. I can't say top anything. I couldn't rank. I'm just saying, as far as loud crowds, that's as loud as a crowd can get. And they stayed that way the entire show. But I will give you this. There have been individual moments that have been louder than anything that happened last night. Right. When, I'll give you this one. When Dolph Ziggler won the title last year after WrestleMania. That was one of the loudest things I've ever heard in my life, pop-wise. When Triple H came back in Madison Square Garden in 2002 after tearing his quad after being on the show for 9 or 10 months, whatever it was.
Pop, no doubt.
One of the loudest sustained pops
You're talking about through the entire
night. But I'm talking about an entire show, a crowd being lively, energetic.
All right, let's get we got to run through Monday Night Raw. Where Triple H and Stephanie McMahon came out last night and basically
Daniel Bryan gets in her face, does the yes chant.
They set up a match. Triple H and Daniel Bryan. We had the Wyatt family against John Cena, Big E, and Sheamus. There was a cool backstage segment we talked about earlier. Triple H basically said, when Batista, Orton, and everybody else, when they are alongside each other and when they are...
Can't be stopped.
They can't be stopped, right.
So and the other cool thing was, and I didn't see this because I missed a lot of little things like this right in play-by-play.
Right.
Somebody said when Cena, Sheamus, and Big E came to the ring, you know how Cena does the salute and then runs? He said they ran with him or something like that to the ring.
Did you run down there? No.
Him and Sheamus both were like, either they were one step behind running or they all ran together, but it was like, and they were at the exact same level.
What was up with Batista's pink shoes,
again,
right?
They got something they want to go talking about.
Pink shoes last night, right?
Wasn't even boots. It was sneakers.
Sneakers, right?
Yeah, like pink sneakers. They were black, but like with a lot of pink stuff on them.
I told the people last night. I said,
between the hats, the skinny jeans, the glasses, the pink shoes.
I said that's got to be a rib of some sorts, man. The jeans ripped the jeans ripped the previous week.
He's very into fashion, like Kanye
Maybe
West.
He is.
I
Might
think
be
he
into
thinks
fashion,
he's this
right?
fashion guy.
Might be into fashion or something.
Whatever.
So we had
great match.
That was a good match.
Amazing match, and the crowd was insane. I don't want to, kill the point here, but they were insane for the Wyatt family in particular.
Right. How about the promos?
This is where they really got live. Like they were live for Bryan, but they got on another level for Wyatt. And
how about the promos for Bo Dallas and Adam Rose last night?
The first Bo Dallas promo I thought was a regular commercial at first,
right?
Like a regular, like all right, and they're gonna buy Levi's jeans at the end. I didn't know what it was gonna be,
right?
And then after a while, you could tell by the narration, oh, this is WWE, we're back,
right?
And it was for Bo Dallas, Bo Lee, blah 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 blah.
I love the Adam Rose promo where he was in the tour bus.
Supposedly he's got this character that's real cool that's going to get over.
Right.
Because you catch indie shit and NXT shit a lot.
He's got a promo where he's basically a partier, right? Yeah. He's a big
like
partier.
Ecstasy, raves, that kind of. I got that feeling watching that segment.
Exactly what it is. Where he's a real cocky guy. Where even during the vignette that aired last night, he says, "Yo, this is my ex-girlfriend right here, and this is my soon-to-be ex-girlfriend."
Do you know the name of the bus? It was the Lex Express with Lex Luger. What was his?
I don't know.
The Erotic.
Erotic Express. Yeah, all right, no doubt. Oh man, Paul Heyman promo.
We got Fandango and Summer Rae versus Santino and Emma. We don't need to talk about that, but we should mention that they're breaking up. Fandango.
Fandango.
Did I say that right? Because I don't know if I said it right. Because I think it's actually.
It's Fandango.
Okay.
They Fandango sent a tweet. We just put it up on the website before it came on the air here tonight. Summer did respond.
She did respond. She said, something I didn't get your text. The Fandango tweet said, if you've been getting my text, it's over. It's not me, it's you. It's over. We're done. Blah, 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 blah. And Summer said, I didn't get your text. And I can't believe you would say this in public or something like that.
Right.
So they're splitting those two up. Summer Rae's in line for
there
a big
was
push.
A video when Paige won the Divas title, right?
Backstage, the Raw Fallout?
All right. There was the Raw Fallout, right? And Paige wins the Divas title. And all the Divas come up and they're hugging her, right? Yeah. And they all hug her. And Summer Rae is in the background. And I was looking a little bit too closely, probably.
You always do.
And Summer Rae is in the background and she's going...
fixing her hair and shit?
Fixing her hair. And I'm like, yo, this is a real moment right now. And is Summer Rae really like this?
They're definitely portraying her that way. Here's
Watch this.
We can't watch it, but listen to this.
Okay. Boone and I are going to watch
they're going to start it with her in the ring. Let me skip to the...
Skip to where the Divas come back.
Skip ahead.
I want you to watch...
what's happening is, I'll give you the visual that you can't see. They're just showed that Paige defeated AJ Lee, which we'll get to in a second.
She's coming to the back.
The Divas Championship. She just walked backstage. She's crying. And she's
crying.
And the Divas approach her.
Not only that, but that was awesome.
That was awesome.
Showing true emotion.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Okay. All the Divas come up. I want you to watch Summer Rae.
Yeah, narrate what's happening here. The Divas
in the red.
Her. Tell them what's happening.
All right, Rosa Mendez comes up. There's Natalya.
Summer Rae,
Eva Marie. Now, Summer Rae is going to be over here in the back. If you guys have, she's in the red dress.
Okay, right there.
In the red dress, the blonde in the back here. All right, so you'll see her in a minute.
This is on WZR.
Now watch. She's touching her hair. She's doing her face. Did you see that? Did you catch that?
Because she probably knows there's a camera on her.
She's still touching her hair.
Does she see the computer?
Yeah, this is bad.
They can hear it, I'm sure, fine. It does this video. Oh, now it's skipping bad. Alright. The interviewer, she's crying. It's Tom Phillips.
That's Byron Saxton.
Oh, yeah, Byron Saxton. I'm sorry.
Tom Phillips?
He's the
Who the hell's Tom Phillips?
He's the white guy.
Oh, is he?
There's a new interviewer.
Is there a Tom Phillips?
Yeah, he was on some of the pre-shows.
Alright, no doubt.
God, my computer's dick. But yeah, Summer Rae was clearly very self-conscious.
How about Paul Heyman's promo last night?
I told you, I wrote a column about it at WrestlingNews.com. I give you my whole thoughts there because we have to do the edited, rushed version here. But yeah,
Paul Heyman's
basically,
promo.
and I wrote this in the column. This is how good the guy is. Everybody agrees. There's not one person that doesn't agree. A, he's one of the best talkers in business. B, last night's promo was fucking amazing.
He was awesome.
Bottom line is, all he really said was, "Nanny, nanny, boo, boo, we beat the streak." That's really all he said.
Right, but he came out and he
took
said
10 minutes, and the fans were hanging on every
word he said,
and they loved it.
He said,
Man's good.
We told you so.
Yeah,
we
why
told
are you
you that.
surprised?
He's got the shirt. He's got everything.
Why are you
eat,
surprised? We
sleep,
told you
defeat
this
the
was-
streak,
yeah.
all that stuff. It was awesome. Paul Heyman was
amazing.
great. He said, "Let me say it real slow for you guys," and then he's talking about there are superstars, as in Z.
There are legends. There are superstars. There are Hall of Famers.
When you guys
and he kept
put that,
saying everybody backstage is a wannabe. He's the one.
Right, when you guys put that up on Facebook with the Z,
Yeah.
puts you to sleep, dude. It puts you to fucking sleep. It was
But yeah,
awesome,
the gist was 99
It
Boo
was
Boo
awesome.
won, and yeah, he's the one. He kept saying everybody back there's wannabes.
Right.
Brock Lesnar.
Boy, you are drinking some beer tonight.
He's the guy.
Bro. Alright, we had Batista and Randy Orton against the Usos. The Usos won via disqualification here. There was a backstage segment earlier in the night, dude. It was Randy Orton and Batista. CEO. Why do we want the tag team titles? We don't want the tag team titles.
The tag team division is supposed to be getting reignited.
Right.
And they just fucking toileted
Shit
it in
all
one
over
promo.
it, dude.
They just
Shit.
made it seem like who cares about the tag titles?
Right.
Big stars don't care about the tag titles. They're not important. That's all they said in that message, basically.
Right. Damian Sandow was in the ring. Rob Van Dam made his return.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back your buddy Justin Roberts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Rob Van Dam. My point being,
Rob Van Dam came back.
this is the best, and I wrote this on Facebook, this is the best creative idea they could come up with for RVD's return. Let's just announce he's back. He has a match against who is now a jobber, Damian Sandow.
I know.
That's fucking a whole nother story in itself. That's sad.
Yeah, it was.
And he comes out and he does his fucking Rolling Thunder, split-legged
Same old stuff. Rob Van Dam's back every week.
Same old
It's
shit.
like when Chris Jericho returns, man. They hype it up big time, man, and then Jericho comes back, and everybody's all excited for that first night. And then the following week on Raw or on SmackDown, it's just another Jericho match. Jericho's back in WWE.
No,
RVD's
there's two
back
different
in
things I'm
WWE.
saying.
It's
But
the
no,
same.
you're right there. That's true. A, B, and I just got a column idea, and I'm gonna write this column. RVD, there's good workers, and then there's guys who are impressive athletes. RVD's a fucking impressive athlete.
Right.
Is he a good worker? Guess what? No, he's not. You know why?
RVD's not a good worker.
Kind of like Ric Flair, he has the same match every time you see him. There's
Right.
ring psychology. There's knowing when to do this and why. He's a who was it? Oh,
Yeah, but Cena has the same match every time. Any
doesn't.
of these guys,
He
these
doesn't.
guys go out there, they have a match, and they
they've
hit
got-
their finishers.
They've got similar moves. RVD has 8 moves that he always does, and he doesn't change things up. He doesn't. It's the same story.
I don't know
Matches
about that,
tell
man.
a story in the ring, and I'll make a believer with the column if I get more time to
Bo
write it out.
Lever?
A Bo Lever, like Bo Dallas. It's the same shit every time you see him.
We had,
Sorry to
let's
say.
see, we
And I
had
think he's awesome. But
Alexander Rusev made his debut on, not debut on Raw. He's been
Bad
on
News
Raw.
Barrett had his first match.
Right, Bad News Barrett back. I'm skipping some of
Skipping
this.
that was the most over thing on the show. The crowd was nuts for
God,
Bad News
here
Barrett.
we go with the crowd again.
Was he not over like Rover?
He was over, dude. He was
You could
over.
argue he was the most over.
We
guy
are
on
at
the show.
10:20, and we got SmackDown spoilers and everything else. I'm trying.
We don't have.
We got Alexander Rusev with Lena against Zack Ryder. This was,
Another
but
jobber.
Rusev is back on Raw. We had AJ Lee. This is the big segment that we need to talk about. AJ Lee comes out.
Warrior came out and did a promo before
Oh
that.
God, that was terrible.
Speak to me, Warrior.
Well, Warrior came out as his normal self, right? And he was gonna cut a promo.
Well, his
and
normal
then-
self is Warrior, by the way. That's his legal name.
That's right, he did.
Yeah.
He did do that.
He said,
So
"Enough
he
of
comes
that,
out-
Warrior. Now it's the Ultimate Warrior."
So he
That's the
comes out
character.
and he puts the mask on,
It's
right?
like pain.
And then of course the Warrior, if you remember his promos from back in the day,
Here, hold this.
they don't make any sense. They don't make any sense.
No, they don't. Warriors had the camera guy shooting him. Hey, hold this real quick.
Right. He held the microphone. He gave him the microphone. Yo, listen. Warriors promos don't make any sense. No. So he puts the mask on and he gets into full gimmick mode.
Incoherent babbling.
He gets into full gimmick mode and incoherent babbling is what you heard from Warrior last night. And the crowd was hot at first, man. I mean, they were
shaking the ropes. They liked that.
He didn't. Dude, and that's another thing. He
got
out
tired.
And he tried to shake the ropes, right? And maybe the ropes are wired differently than they were back in the day. They're a lot tighter. So but when he came out, back in the day, he would shake them fucking. Last night he came out and he was like shaking the rope, and I'm like, yo, are the ropes?
And he was breathing heavy and sweating profusely.
Yeah, like, what do you do? Shake the fucking ropes, bro? Like, what the fuck? So anyway, he cuts his promo, he goes into whatever, and the crowd could have cared less.
No, they lost it at that point.
They lost it.
I mean, they were still loud, but yeah,
even you and I were in here like, oh god.
Yeah.
AJ Lee comes out, right, and she's basically still Divas champion, and she's better than everybody in the back. And that
I got the title, longest record, best Diva in the world, like CM
Paige comes out, huge pop, dude. As soon as her music hit, and I'm thinking that's because on the Titantron it showed, Paige or something like that. Everybody knew.
I think it was a diehard audience, and they just
or a diehard audience. Paige comes out, and she just wants to congratulate AJ
British,
Lee.
By the way, right? Yeah, she had the accent.
She's got the accent. So she wants to congratulate AJ Lee, and AJ wants nothing to do with it.
Congratulations.
So AJ says, "Let's have a match right now," and
bitch max.
Paige says, "No, I'm not ready for that. Yeah. I'm still in NXT. Pretty much, right? I'm not ready for that. That's where the bits."
Now are you ready?
Smack. Yeah. Now are you ready? And
bitch smack too. I mean, she smacked the shit out of her.
Then right. Then she says it's going to be for the Divas titles, and at that point, the whole crowd popped, knowing that you know what, we're going to have a title change right now. We can see this coming. It's coming. We're gonna have it, and right, you could see it coming.
But it was the right move, I think. I mean,
right. So Paige defeated AJ Lee. The backstage promo from
real quick though, they botched that finish. AJ locks her up in the Black Widow, and I guess Paige's finish is a page turner, is what it's called.
Yeah, it looked like
it was sloppy as shit.
Right.
And it looked like she was tapping because she was shaking her arm around.
Right.
But it looked like she was tapping.
Right. Nobody
acknowledges it. Commentary, referee, nobody acknowledges it.
Nobody did. Right.
And I think it was just a decision she made, like, oh, she's selling it this way. But that was a bad way to sell it because it looked like taps.
Paige would be 100 times hotter if she got a tan.
She ain't that hot.
She's hot.
She ain't that hot.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Paige isn't hot?
I didn't say she's not hot. I said she ain't that hot. There's a big difference between hot and that hot.
Paige is
that hot is like when you look at Trish Stratus. When you look at AJ Lee, you're like, that's just ridiculous. Paige is cute.
Paige is pretty hot. She's pretty hot.
And you want to talk about makeup? You want to talk about makeup? The grill on Paige, not a nice face going on there.
Are you
serious?
And
you can tell without makeup, it's probably 10 times worse.
You may be right on that.
Not that I care about the makeup stuff, because that's your fucking bag.
Paige is hot. Paige is hot. I'm sorry.
Paige is pretty. She ain't hot. There's a difference.
She would if she got a tan. If she got a tan, they should pair Sheamus and Paige together as the two whitest people in WWE.
I know somebody like Paige. There's chicks there's different flavors you get horny for. Every once in a while, you want a very pale, gothic kind of a chick, but for the most part, you want the really fucking supermodel.
You jerk off to with the left hand.
Every once
the gothic chick.
Right hand.
Right hand. My bad. With
that every once in a while, I want some. Every once in a while, I want some goth fucking stuff going on. Yeah, right, for the most part, that's like it's a novelty thing.
So Cesaro. Paul Heyman we talked about this earlier. What happens with Cesaro?
Well, the real quick lead-in was Cesaro comes out. They're doing the trophy presentation. Hulk Hogan, brother. He makes a joke about the Silverdome, Superdome thing. Excuse me. I guess. Silverdome, Superdome joke he makes. Blah blah blah. Here's your trophy, Cesaro.
It's good that he addresses
comes out before Cesaro can speak. Zeb Coulter says, "I got it from here," blah 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 blah, and he cuts Cesaro off. And I know you're a Zeb Coulter guy, blah, 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 blah. Finally, Cesaro gets to talk. I'm not a Zeb Coulter guy. And then, I don't know how he introduces it. I'm this guy's guy or something like that. But Paul Heyman comes out, and the fucking guy that was getting viciously booed an hour before this
I don't think Heyman was getting vicious. I think
He
at
was.
the beginning.
Did you not listen to it?
I watched that promo 3 times today,
He got
and
fucking shitted on.
at the beginning of the promo,
Yes.
they were
Yes.
shitting all over Paul
He
Heyman.
won him over.
And then
Yeah.
the promo was so fucking
Yes.
good that the crowd said,
That is true.
"We love you,
That
Paul.
is
You
true.
are the man, bro."
Yes.
You know what I mean? All right, so Heyman comes down and they announce that Cesaro's a new Heyman guy. So
this leads
what
to an
happens?
impromptu match.
Does Brock Lesnar take time off? Does Heyman strictly with Cesaro?
Well, the good thing about
or
this is, and I
what
know
happens
this in
here?
the column too.
I thought that was awesome. By the
It
way.
was, and I noted this in the column too, that even when Lesnar gets his hiatuses now, this was like when Heyman was working with Punk and Lesnar at the same time. Lesnar would go away for a couple months,
Right.
but we would still get Heyman because he'd be with Punk. Then when they broke up, when Lesnar would go away, there was no more Heyman.
Right.
Now we at least get Heyman every week on TV.
Exactly.
So
and we need Heyman on TV.
yeah,
Dude. He is.
I
awesome.
want a Heyman promo every week. We don't get Punk promos anymore. I need a Heyman promo at least. Don't take them both away.
Impromptu match with Cesaro and Jack Swagger,
Yes.
right? Like you
Heyman
were
and
talking
Cesaro's
about.
corner, Coulter and Swagger.
So it looks like they're
That's
going to do
the
some
feud,
sort of tag
I'm
team
assuming.
match. Maybe not a
Oh,
tag
no,
team
no.
match, but you're going to have Cesaro Swagger.
Yeah, they each
They're
got their
finally.
guy.
I mean, they were going to do that one-on-one feud at WrestleMania 30, right? And then they halted the
That
plans.
was the original plan.
They halted the plans, and now we know the reason why they halted the plans. They said, "Yo, we're going to take Cesaro following WrestleMania, and we're going to put Cesaro with Paul Heyman."
So they could have
Which
done
is
that
what
before.
they did.
Mania,
They
but
could have
they
done that
decided,
before.
yeah.
But
I don't know,
Heyman was with Brock.
It felt to
and-
me
and-
like this was almost not spontaneous, but something like they just recently came up with. I don't think this was like, oh, we had this all along.
I think within the last month or so they had
first
plans.
start?
Wait a minute, they had plans to do Cesaro versus Jack Swagger
Yes.
at WrestleMania. Okay, then they halted those plans, like we talked about. Why did they stop that feud?
Yeah.
And I think the reason they stopped that is because they wanted Heyman
Yeah.
strictly with Lesnar going into WrestleMania, knowing that the streak was going to be broken, and then after WrestleMania, when Brock's probably going to go away, then we'll use
But
Cesaro
we
as a
follow
Heyman
all
guy.
that, everybody listening. But I'm saying when my question was going to be, when did Heyman start? Because he was teasing that he had a new Paul Heyman guy. How long ago was that?
About 3 weeks ago.
So that's
2 or
when
3
they had
weeks
to have
ago.
known this is what they're doing.
Right.
And that's about the same time they stopped doing-
Right, exactly,
You're right,
bro.
yeah.
Exactly. So that's probably why they halted the plans. They said, you know what, after WrestleMania, we're going to have big plans with Cesaro when Lesnar is gone. So, let's see. This was the main event, right?
The backstage segment first, which is important. But
Oh, it was Stephanie McMahon was backstage with Kane and the Shield, right? She wants to make sure that they are
united, all on the
united.
same page.
Everybody's united tonight, and
The
Shield-
focus tonight is Triple H ends the Yes Movement, wins the title. After
Yes.
that, we can do whatever we want. Yeah, but tonight we need to be on the same page.
So the match began, and it didn't last that long, right?
There was no
there was
match.
a DQ right off the
Yeah,
bat.
there was no match. It
Okay.
was Daniel Bryan came out, and then it wasn't. Who was it? Let me check here. Batista came right. I think it was Batista. Then Orton. They come down before Triple H, and
Mhm.
Triple H is the opponent. So you're like, what the fuck's going on here?
Right, right.
Then Kane came out. Then Triple H came out, or Triple H then Kane. Long story short, all these people came out.
They were just destroying Daniel Bryan. Right.
Clearly opposing Daniel Bryan, and then the Sierra Delta.
Let me say this. By the way,
Don't we have that sound?
earlier in the night, we do have the Shield
Where
theme
is
song
it?
down at the bottom.
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
And that's what we heard.
That's what we heard.
You heard that
Let me
right.
just say this. Triple H did say earlier in the night during the backstage segment with Batista and Randy Orton, basically said that Orton and Batista both do have rematch clauses against
Yes.
Daniel Bryan. So what I'm thinking that they're going to do is you had Triple H, Daniel Bryan last night on Raw, okay?
Yeah.
You're going to have Daniel Bryan versus Orton maybe next week, and you're going to have Daniel Bryan versus Batista
then you
next
build to
week,
the war.
and you build to Extreme Rules, to the war at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
Because
So I
they
think
build it as
that's-
a war. A war has begun, is what Triple H
And-
said, I think. Or-
And that gives you 3 Raw main events going into Extreme Rules,
Or
where you've got
SmackDown, yeah.
or SmackDown, but you've got Daniel Bryan against Triple H one week, Daniel Bryan against Randy Orton the next week,
Probably,
Daniel Bryan
yeah.
against Batista
I
the next
agree.
week, and they're all title matches going into Extreme. It makes sense.
I agree. And then
So-
Extreme Rules, and there's a lot of talk because Triple H said that key word, war.
Right.
Of war games.
War
coming
games,
back.
something like
I
that.
don't think it will.
I think they're going to do the standard 3-on-3 tag team match,
Yeah.
something like that. Evolution against the Shield, something, possibly.
Did they add
Extreme
Kane to
Rules.
Evolution this time around? There's no Ric Flair.
And then Stephanie's there too. Stephanie would
Stephanie's
be
the
at
manager.
ringside. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Stephanie's the
Something like
manager.
that.
What's
Yeah.
up with your eye there?
I don't know. I just
It looks like it's swollen
it
shut or
itches.
something. Yeah,
It
it's
itches.
swollen.
Is it?
Yeah.
It just started itching.
Whoa,
within-
dude! Holy shit! Yo, I ain't playing. It's
Is
swollen.
it bad?
Look in the camera here. Here, go ahead. So we got a camera for it. Get
Yeah,
up.
really.
I'm not kidding you. Lift. Well, you pulled your head over it now. Yeah, it's swollen.
Is
Looks
it?
like you got stung in the eyeball by a bee or something.
Did something just bite me? Because it's itching and it
looks
kind of
like,
itches
dude,
right now.
It looks freaky. I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating either. Go look in the mirror real quick. I'll
We're-
talk
no,
shit.
we're gonna get out of here in a
All
minute.
right.
We're out of here in a
I'm
minute.
telling
But
you, man.
it's really
It looked
itching.
like your eye might swell shut.
Have you guys seen that? You guys are watching the stream. Within the
I
last
didn't
couple
even
of
notice.
minutes, I've been itching my
Wow,
eye.
dude. Whoa.
I've been itching my eye within the last couple of
It
minutes.
looked like
Something
a
bit me.
bumblebee stung you in the eyeball.
Well, something bit me.
Something bit me.
Something bit me,
Forrest
bro.
Gump. Dude, your eye is swelling shut right now.
Well, I don't know
Fuck,
what.
dude.
Let's get out of
It's
here.
red and oh Jesus Christ! All right, so Raw ends with the
Yes.
Shield and all those guys fighting. Triple H yells, "This is war," and so pretty much
This
it's
is war,
obvious.
right,
Yeah,
right.
We announced for SmackDown last night that it would be Star Big Show, which we just read the results to.
Yes.
Main event got Shield Wyatt's, which you mentioned earlier. What was the other stuff? I think that was pretty much it. Adam Rose.
That was it.
Bo
They
Dallas.
announced that. Well, the vignettes are going to air. They're not going to debut.
Yeah, but I'm
on
talking
Raw
about
for
newsworthy stuff.
10
And
weeks.
Cesaro became a Heyman guy. Like there was some newsworthy shit
Right.
last night. It was a big show.
So listen,
No pun intended.
that was the Hall of Fame. That was Monday Night Raw. That was WrestleMania.
We do
Not
have
in that order. We do
We
have.
do have
Son of a
damn.
bitch. Anyways, listen, we got to get out of here, man. We've gone long.
You
We're
wanna
gonna put
give 'em SmackDown
SmackDown.
updates here, or-
You want a couple more SmackDown spoilers? We'll give them to you. We left off at Ryback and Curtis Axel against who was it?
It was against Los Matadors.
Los Matadors. We had Rob Van Dam. We reported that he was backstage at SmackDown taping. So we had that match. It was Rob Van Dam defeated Damien Sandow, a rematch from Monday Night Raw from last night.
Hulk Hogan segment.
Hulk Hogan. We
Yeah.
reported that Hulk Hogan was at the SmackDown taping
Calls out
today.
Daniel Bryan. He said it's Daniel Bryan said it's the greatest week of his life since he got married. Or since he is getting married.
He's
and
getting
won the
married
titles. So it's
this
the greatest
Friday night.
week because
Right.
he won the titles and he's getting married all in the same week.
Not gonna be much of a honeymoon for him, huh? With
He said they have a honeymoon. 'Cause
Oh, do they?
They get the weekend off
All
after
right.
Mania, I think. There's
All
no
right.
house shows, I think.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay.
And then
Still got to be a Raw.
Yeah.
What is it, like a 2-day
You get 2
honeymoon?
days, yeah. Unless you got appearances. He
So
said,
what else Hogan say, man?
Well, Bryan said he idolizes Hulk Hogan, and he asked for Hogan's music to be played in Real American.
All right.
Hogan and Bryan, they all do the posing.
the
and
yes
stuff.
and the-
yeah.
Right.
So the yes and the posing and all that
Okay.
happens, and then we get into the next match.
So Hogan kind of puts him over. It's the yes chant.
Yeah,
versus
he's endorsing the new face
Right.
of WWE.
Okay.
Basically.
That's
And
a
then-
cool segment.
Yeah.
Man. I like that. Fandango.
No. Bad News Barrett.
Bad News Barrett defeated Kofi Kingston. And then we had Fandango with Layla. So it looks like Layla has replaced Summer
guess,
Rae,
yeah.
right? Summer Rae is not with Fandango anymore.
So the match was kept short and Fandango,
Defeated us. I didn't say it. Santino Marella.
Yeah, Fandango
With,
went over on
Emma.
that one. So that's where we're at on SmackDown. Thumbs up. You can come back now. And
Wow. So Summer Rae, it looks like
she's in for a big push.
wow.
We heard because she
Yeah.
got over on Total Divas immediately, and then when she smacked Natalya and that was promoted, that became the highest rated episode in the history
she
of the
may
show.
be going
Wow.
into a feud with Natalya.
That
You're
became
right.
the highest. It's not. Maybe I'm over dramatizing it a little bit, but you'll see it's swollen, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, that was the highest rated show in the history of Total Divas. So she's in for a push. They got to capitalize on the momentum.
They're probably going to take her and do a Summer Rae versus Natalya feud, something like that.
or something. Yeah, they got
Brother, it is 10:35 Eastern Time. Look how many people stuck around for WZR
There was a decent little drop-off,
TV
actually.
Tuesday. A decent little
We're
drop
still
off, but
above
in the
average
chat
number.
room,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the chat room, we're good to go. It's a good thing.
Chat stuck with us.
We knew we were going to run late tonight.
Bro, we
so
could go till 8 a.m. and the chat ain't
could-
going nowhere. Those
I know.
specific 50,
I know.
60, 70 guys,
I
they're there, man.
We could keep going all night. There is so much to talk about, man, but it's all on the websites. It's going to be a busy week. I'm telling you.
We got the pretty much everything current
that we wanted to get.
Yeah, the big stuff.
So listen, before we get out of here, I know Boone will probably make fun of me
Great
for this,
fan.
but
there we go.
thank you, seriously, man. Come on, man. The last 4 or 5 days on the websites has been awesome, man. With traffic, the amount of news that's been up yesterday, 43,000 unique visitors. It's an all-time record. So thank you to all of you guys that visited the website. Boone's been working hard writing columns for WrestlingNews.com. You guys are awesome, man. We got the best fucking fans in the world. I'll tell you guys on Facebook all the time. Submit feedback to tonight's show.
Yes.
Facebook.com/RyanClarkWZR. Facebook.com/MattBooneWZR. Both of our pages, man. It's awesome.
Yes.
It's go submit feedback. You guys are awesome. It's not awesome. You guys are awesome. So
yeah, like WWE
we'll
put
see
that,
you guys.
They put the thank you WWE fans, WWE Universe, whatever video out, and apparently after it played, the fans chanted a few things. They chanted, "We are awesome." They chanted us, 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 and they chanted, "You are welcome" or "You're welcome." You're welcome. Earlier in the night when you mentioned the thank you about the numbers, the fans in the chat room started chanting, "We are awesome" too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They broke out.
They are awesome, man.
You guys
are
are
the
awesome.
best fans in the world. We've been working hard, man. We've been trying to give you guys as much news as possible, and it's been fucking wild, man. But things should calm down. This coming weekend into next week, things should die down.
His eye will clear up by next. Everything will be good.
Yeah. We're out of here. Matty Boone. We are out of here. We'll see you next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time on WZROnline.com.